the funny thing is,
The old
most of
tubie.
us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on the YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. Welcome in to a stormy afternoon here in South Asheville. That's my warning shot for you. Jeremy, just so you know. Does
that mean it could be on me at some point today?
If you start to notice a lag or something, or if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, especially if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app or on the terrestrial signal and you no longer hear us, send me a message, like real quick, just so you know. We are running completely mobile or completely remote, so that's the thing. I can't always hear when we lose connection with the studio. So, again, if you could help us help you, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you remember that thing I said about the further away from a studio we get, the better off this works? Just wait. Thursday will be seamless.
Possibly so, when we are up in Cleveland, Ohio for the Hall of Fame weekend festivities. Hall of Fame game on Thursday night, starting off the Ingles Living the Dream Tour tomorrow. We'll be hitting the road going up to Cleveland, so no afternoon show tomorrow, just so everybody's aware. Then Thursday and Friday, we will be live from the Airbnb there in Cleveland.
Yeah, Jeremy will be asleep because I'm staying in an Airbnb that, whoa, buddy. I mean, I know I am the reservation savant.
Yes.
But every once in a while, you miss one. And I whoofed. I slept on a bed that I think was originally intended for a goat last night.
Did you stay in a Hobbit house? That's how you've made this sound since I've talked to you today.
So I got in the shower this morning, and look, I am a tall man. Mm-hmm. I am every centimeter of 6'4", and could be as tall as 6'7", depending on which convenience store I'm leaving. I had to shower completely bent over this morning just to get my hair, because the shower came to about my sternum.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't go any higher. It was 8,000 degrees, but it wouldn't hit my head. And so basically I had to just bend over. And I saw my father this morning for breakfast, and he looked at me and he said, "Why do you still have shampoo in your hair?" And I went, "Because I can't bend over that far."
The shower would not allow me to bend completely in half.
I stayed in a scrunchy house for whittle people, and I am not whittle people.
He did.
And the bed was intended for a goat.
His feet hanging off the bed.
And there's no televisions in the bedroom, and a piece of tile broke just because I stepped on it, which made me feel like a complete menace.
I'm imagining you like Vince Vaughn in Fred Claus, where he's sleeping on the little elf bed and his feet are just hanging off the top bunk.
That's about right. And I'm not going to lie to you. Oh boy. The neighborhood is eclectic, as the realtors would say.
Aha. Okay. Not the best. Not the best. Okay. On Thursday. Yes, the starting quarterbacks for the Hall of Fame game will be Carson Beck for the Arizona Cardinals and Kenny Pickett for the Carolina Panthers. Woo!
Yay.
It's going to be very Tyson Bagent-y real quick.
Yay.
That was the
that'll
star
be fun.
quarterback of the game that we went to 2 years ago. Was it just 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
Man, it seems like so much longer than that the new kickoff rules have been implemented. Because remember, that was the first game that they tried it out at. Just fine. Putting his name in the hat to be the starter, which I don't think he is, because you just gave an extra $10 million to Jacoby Brissett. You didn't do that if you were really expecting Carson Beck to start for this team, did you?
I've thought about this quite a lot since this story came out earlier today. This is the living embodiment. So in my life, one of the things that's always fascinated me is that people pay for storage units.
Got carted off the field today. However, he landed really hard on the back of his head. And they were concerned that there was a concussion. It was not a concussion, but they do say he's got a stinger, which stingers are nothing to them. They're going to, I mean, if you added one more addendum onto that injury list, I would say I would bet my money he won't be back by 10 weeks. But hopefully he could still come back within the window with the recovery of that. But, yeah, that left knee got jacked pretty hard yesterday in practice. Xavier Legette landed on his noggin today. Again, not a concussion. They say it's a stinger. They will evaluate him throughout the process. Of course, it's been bad for the Panthers leading up to this already with Skirton and Chris Brazzell and all of the other injuries that the lingering hangover injuries that they're dealing with from the offseason. This team gets thinner and thinner by the day. And do you stand by what you said yesterday, that this team is now the worst team in the NFC South?
I do. You can't have this many injuries in a division that was this close.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
You're thin anyway. That's one of my biggest problems is that they're thin anyway. And you're finding out real quick how thin you are.
I mean, nobody can withstand this. Just what they've already lost. Name me a team in the NFL that could do that, and you would still feel good about where they're sitting.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point. Good point. Do you feel comfortable about where Bijan Robinson's sitting right now?
Yeah. I mean, look, Bijan, who didn't know he was going to be the highest paid running back in the league? If you didn't know that,
Everyone.
I got a bridge to sell you because
Everyone
you're
knew
gullible as all get out. And I hate to tell you this, he'll be the highest paid running back in this league for about 24 hours because Dan Campbell just called Kevin Stefanski and said, "Thanks, bro. It's good looking out because you just laid out exactly what I need to hand Jahmyr Gibbs because I'm going to give him about $600,000 over the course of 3 years, more than you just gave Bijan. And we're hunky-dunky."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The only shock would come is if you didn't expect him to get $5 million more than any other running back.
Well, I mean, he only got two more than Saquon. Saquon makes 20 point something per year.
I guess if he gets the max, $75 million, that's $25 a year on average.
I was just looking at the cap number.
Right.
Cap number for Saquon this year is 20.2.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan's at 22. It's fine. It's fine. Bijan Robinson is worth every cent. In a world where Zay Flowers got what he got, Bijan Robinson might be the greatest chef's kiss value ever, and that's coming from the biggest Zay Flowers apologist outside of his family members in Baltimore on the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, am I the only one that looked at the dynamic of those two deals and went, hold up. Let me say this out loud. Bijan Robinson got one less year and less than half the money of Zay Flowers. Okay, then. Okay, then.
I had missed this. When did this come down?
About an hour ago.
Okay.
$140 million for Zay Flowers. I'm not going to lie. I thought somebody went Tank Spencer fat fingers when they hit the button on what that deal was. I thought it was 110. I checked it 3 times. Saw 3 different AP sources and went, oh my God, they actually gave him $140 million.
Wow, $35 million a year. $108 million guaranteed.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
At the most populous position in the NFL, there is no position where it is easier to find a dude than wide receiver. And I understand why you did it. Because without him, But good golly, Miss Molly, that's a lot of money.
I was going to say, did you have to come off that much to secure him?
Well, I mean, it's like we always say, it's not necessarily who's the best, it's who got signed the most recently. I guess I'm just looking at the deals. I mean, do you remember less than a year ago we were talking about Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? And now yes. Jamar Chase is, what, he's still second, but that $40 million is not looking that aggressive. And the 35 for Justin Jefferson is looking like the greatest value in NFL history.
No kidding.
Drake London makes more than Justin Jefferson does. I want you to just say that out loud. And I'm not trying to slam Drake London. I've loved Drake London for a long time. But he makes more than Justin Jefferson is wild. Chris Olave makes more than Amon-Ra St. Brown is wild. George Pickens is making more on a franchise tag than Devontae Smith. Really? The guy that's had the one big year and he's been an absolute nutcase outside of that? Okay. Just keep doing it. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
The going rate for a star wide receiver is just under $30 million.
If you've got a legit star, you're going to be paying him $30 million. That's where you have to be with this.
No doubt about it. Because once you get down to that $23 million area, that's when you go, okay, all right. There's some overpays in there.
Christian Watson number. I think it was DraftKings that put up a graphic earlier of where the top 25 highest paid receivers in the NFL went to college. And I saw that North Dakota State Bison, and I went, who the hell went to North Dakota State? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I forgot that we did that. That's a thing you did.
Yep. It most certainly is a thing you did.
You know who hated this with every fiber of his being? Jerry Jones. Because he's looking at George Pickens going, well, that's going to make next offseason a lot less fun.
Most certainly, because he's $35 million. If he has a season like he had last year, $35 million, or I'm not talking to you.
Oh, I mean, the ones that I immediately thought of were Marvin Harrison Jr. Because I got news for you. If Zay Flowers is worth 35, based off what he's done, and we're looking at top end potential here, Marvin Harrison's worth 30. If it just stays the way it's been, he's worth 30. Because he still has that potential for a star turn. Rome Odunze was one I thought of pretty quick. Malik Neighbors will make $8 gajillion. If he has another year in year 3 the same way he had in year 1, and the only thing that has kept that from being as steady was an injury, Malik Neighbors will be the highest paid receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Nico Collins was the other one I went, I am really sad I didn't get an agent's license to represent Nico Collins, because that's going to be the easiest money in the history of time.
That won't be bad. Brian Thomas Jr., he's another one. If he has a bounce back year this year, that payday's coming for him next year, isn't it?
Brian Thomas Jr. is a little bit different of a story. He was so bad at times last year that it was hard to wrap your brain around. Marvin Harrison just had dropsies issues. And, oh, by the way, his quarterback is Jacoby Brissett. Brian Thomas will get paid, but it won't be to the point of where you think it will.
So not that 30 range. Well, I mean, I feel like everybody that's going to come up, if you're a star, you're going to be in that range. Alec Pierce. That's the barrier now. 28.5. I'm better than Pierce. I'm getting at least 29.
Oh, yeah, Indianapolis. That's a team we're going to talk about later because I have pulled the lunacy from the training camp ledgers, and there are some teams that, I mean, it's free to say stuff. You can say whatever you want to. We've got a super chat to get to before we go into the commercial break. It's from our buddy Great North Sports. Said he worships at the Temple of Lombardi. A few more weeks until St. May, the patron saint of New England, rises again. Question: why is Alvin Kamara going undrafted in PPR redrafts? Also, did I mention I have a fantasy football guide? He does have a fantasy football guide.
I mean, that's a pretty good question to me because I've been going through a lot of mock draft exercises lately, and to me, that's a hammer it every time. You get down to the 14th round and nobody wants Alvin Kamara. So I mean, I'll take a risk. So
I talked to David yesterday, and he told me this. And I'm not. It wasn't that I doubted him because I know definitively at this point, beyond a shadow of a doubt, he has forgotten more about fantasy football this year than I know. Mm-hmm. I heard that and I went, that doesn't feel like it could possibly be true. And so I checked, and I went through the entire. Would you like to hear a list of running backs that are currently going ahead of Alvin Kamara?
Oh, do tell.
Tyler Algier. I don't care who starts in that backfield. I can tell you definitively, Tyler Algier will be nothing more than one of those Texas mosquitoes that you're kind of scared of and annoys the bejesus out of you. Mm-hmm. Tyrone Tracy is going ahead of Alvin Kamara. Woody Marks.
He's got a shot to start.
Well, yeah, because he's got, the juggernaut in front of him, and it's entirely possible that at some point he hits his head one too many times, and then he just sits on the sideline eating crayons. Mm-hmm. Jordan Mason is going ahead of Alvin Kamara.
I don't
Jonathan Brooks is going ahead of Alvin Kamara.
Certainly not ahead of Alvin Kamara, but I do see the risk.
Really?
I mean, come on. You got to see you take a flyer on that guy.
In order of ADP right now, it's Alvin Kamara, Tyjae Spears, Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Tank Bigsby.
Dumb.
I think that I don't need to explain to you that one of those guys is not like the others because one of those guys doesn't suck at football. Am I alone in this? I understand that he was hurt last year, but he's going to have a role in that offense. And a pretty significant one at that. Braylon Allen is going in the same round that Alvin Kamara is going in.
Crazy talk. Absolute crazy talk. With Trevor Etienne showing up.
Nope, we don't do that. Putting my foot down, we don't do that.
Alvin Kamara is, he's still going to be a usable piece. 31 years old, we know. I guess everybody's looking at the fact that he only had 471 yards last year and went, yeah, maybe not. Maybe he's cooked.
Maybe. I'm not sure how you're getting there. I will say I do keep looking at James Conner going, yeah, you're going to be on a lot of my teams. Because if they're planning on keeping the Jeremiah Love horse in the barn, then I'll ride with James Conner for the low price of $3.99.
That doesn't sound too bad. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we return, more storylines from training camp around the NFL.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Well, the weather pattern is typical for this time of year. High pressure, Bermuda high off to the east of us, and the return flow around it, bringing in the humidity and the moisture, and you got it. Scattered storms. You may not get it every day, but you could. Downpour is probably the biggest threat, maybe some gusty winds. There'll be days you don't get rain, and that's going to be today through at least tomorrow and Thursday, probably even Friday, with highs in the low to mid-80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stager.
This report is sponsored by the Blizzard Double Flip Deal at Dairy Queen. The only thing better than grabbing a Blizzard treat on a warm, sunny day would be snagging a second one for just 99 cents with the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. It's buy one Blizzard treat, get another one for just 99 cents only when you order on the DQ app. DQ. Happy tastes good. For limited time at participating U.S. locations.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now from $699 with exclusive student pricing from $599. Find PCs built for you at Dell.com/deals.
A lot of apps like to say they're free until they ask for your credit card. iHeartRadio is different. No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges. We make money from our advertisers, not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations, all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio. Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. That's fun. Enter it now.
Larissa Sells WNC is the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at larissasellswnc.com.
I'm David.
And I'm Christina.
And this is our Ingalls story.
Ginger's Revenge is a brewery located in Asheville, North Carolina that specializes in the production of hard ginger beer.
So we use all natural, whole ingredients, and I think that really sets us apart.
Ingalls is an amazing partner for us to work with. A lot of our fans know that they can go to Ingalls and find a lot of the flavors that we have available, and they just make it really easy for folks to purchase local products.
The Sportsocracy.
Welcome back into the program. I'm Tank Spencer, coming to you from the Clarissa Sells WNC.com home studio down in the Greenville Ingalls Auxiliary Studio, a.k.a. his office. It's Jeremy Greene.
I like how you called it the auxiliary. I feel like Milton. Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler. Going to...
I'm going to need you to move your stuff down to the basement for next week, okay?
I do not believe that is appropriate for my level of contribution to the team.
I need to make some more room for purchasing. Great North Sports with a good comment in the YouTube here about Alvin Kamara. He does catch 56 passes a season. I mean, he didn't last year because he only played 11 games. But, I mean, that is the guy's average. And I'm pretty sure they're going to figure out a way to spread the wealth.
If I were a betting man, I would tend to agree with you.
He will definitely beat the heck out of his ADP, says the fantasy guru. Great North Sports. David Smith. You can check out all their stuff, and don't forget they've got a fantasy guide that is available for you right now as well. And their show will be coming up, Wednesday night?
Correct.
At 8 o'clock, right here on the YouTubes. So
if you miss out on us tomorrow, you can check them out because I'll be asleep.
I mean, you should check them out anyway.
I'm fully planning on taking an Adderall and a sleeping pill on the way up to Cleveland and just see which one wins out. I'm just going to be staring at a bug on the windshield, just fading out. Just
I can't wait to hear the latest fantasy nuggets coming out from Great North Sports. Is a great follow. He's throwing out questions each and every day. It seems like on the social medias as well. So follow him on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all of the things. Engage as well. So you're prepared for your fantasy season. I'm actually getting a bevy of text messages right now about where we're going to set up our fantasy draft for at the end of the month. August 29th looks like it's going to be a busy day for me. Right before we go on the next leg of the Ingles Living the Dream tour. We will be leaving tomorrow to head up to Cleveland, Ohio, taking the Parks Ford mobile studio on up to Cleveland for the Hall of Fame festivities. Thursday night, the game. Saturday will be the induction ceremony where Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald and Roger Craig, not Ronnie Lott.
I'd be a lot more excited if it was Ronnie Lott.
Adam Vinatieri. Well, I mean, he'll be there, I'm sure.
I mean, maybe Ronnie will show up. Let me just say hi.
I'm sure he'll be there. Adam Vinatieri, and, of course, the great Luke Kuechly, the second youngest inductee into the Hall of Fame. I saw it today. 35 years old. Do you know who the youngest member of the Hall of Fame was?
It wasn't Patrick Willis, was it?
I don't believe it was. Right now, the screen's frozen on me. I had it pulled up here, and look at that. Sometimes teases don't work. If you want to find out, Google it during the break, or stay tuned through the break, and I will tell you on the backside who was the youngest inductee into the NFL Hall of Fame. We do know Luke Kuechly. He's going to be number 2 after Saturday. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Hit the gas on your summer with bonus bucks. Imagine $1,000 and free gas in your tank.
Yeah, it's gonna take every penny to fill up my RV.
The winning happens every weekday.
Summertime is here, and it's time to turn your backyard into the ultimate playground. And outdoor living and more at the Tanger Outlets can help you do it. Hot tubs and spas, grills and smokers, patio furniture, and all the accessories to go along with it. Outdoor living and more at the Tanger Outlets. Check them out online at outdoorliving.fun.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Thursday, August 20th. The Orange Peel presents Buck Cherry. Get your tickets now online at theorangepeel.net. I'm sorry. Don't miss Buck Cherry live August 20th. See you at the Peel.
The best time to recommit to your gut health goals? Right now. Take charge of your gut with Nature Made. Our clinically studied ingredients support digestive health, Digestive enzymes break down nutrients. Probiotic and prebiotic fiber nourish good gut bacteria. And super greens with probiotics empower daily digestive health. Try the full lineup of gut health support from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. We have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Of course, watch us on the YouTubes. Gale Sayers. He's the youngest. He's the youngest. Luke Kuechly, this Saturday, will be the second youngest inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we will be there and follow along on all the social medias and, of course, on our live programs right here on ESPN Asheville.
I'm really sad personally that we're not doing Just About Outside, so I couldn't tell you that a pitcher for the Mariners believes that Babe Ruth didn't exist. And his reason for that?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of camera footage of him playing the game.
But we do have some.
Mm-hmm. We just don't have enough.
Ah.
And Pete Crow Armstrong went on a podcast and said, that's my favorite conspiracy theory. And I'm going to say out loud what Pete Crow didn't say. It's his favorite conspiracy theory because it's absolutely freaking insane that somebody somewhere actually believes that. And that's coming from a man that believes Creed is the greatest band of the 20th century and that birds aren't real. That's how insane what you just said is.
That is a pretty dumb thing to say. However, did a pitcher for the Mariners say it, or did Pete Crow Armstrong say it?
Pete Crow Armstrong said that was his favorite conspiracy theory. The pitcher for the Mariners, his name is... I'd never heard of him. Shocker.
No, I'm sure. I couldn't name you a pitcher for the Mariners right now.
Taylor Saucedo. Taylor Saucedo. Yeah. Didn't have a lot of camera footage of Babe Ruth. Not Pete Rose. Had a lot of Pete Rose.
Had a lot of camera footage of Pete Rose.
I'll bet you can find anything you want on Pete Rose. Bet you $20 right now. And Pete would have done the same thing.
To be fair, Babe Ruth did not know that the Seattle Mariners existed. So
100%, because Pete Rose played in the dawning of when cameras were invented. If he had been 6 years older, we would only have oil paintings of him playing the game.
See how many times you're going to call him Pete Rose?
Did I do it again? I am exhausted. I slept in a barn last night. Leave me alone, okay? Yeah, Names are not clicking on all cylinders.
Okay. Yeah. Pete Rose, Babe Ruth.
Same guy.
Same number of syllables, same number of letters.
They hit a lot, and they did some. They hit a lot, and they did some things you didn't like. Tomato. It's the same. It's baseball. Who cares?
Easy there, Ronnie Lott. Training camp news.
That was fair enough. That was fair enough.
Training camp news for around the NFL. If you're just joining us, we did mention that Xavier Legette knocked his noggin at practice today. He was carted off the field. He was evaluated, and they say he's got a stinger, not a concussion. So that is the good news there on the latest injury out of Panthers training camp. I think one of my favorite little nuggets that I read today, Jeremy, was that Khalil Brown is getting snaps as the starting right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it doesn't appear to be a we're throttling back Jalen Moore thing. Like, they love this kid and apparently are seriously considering making him the starting right tackle.
The only question was, at his size, can he hold up to the rigorous nature of the NFL season? I actually saw that one as well.
Yeah.
The Chiefs believe they have two really young tackles for a long, long time.
I think you just kind of have to trust Brett Veach at this point.
So does that mean I should trust Kevin O'Connell that when he says that the two quarterbacks in his quarterback competition are so close and they feel good about either one of them?
No.
See, now this is one of those times that I'm going to have to say, see, Kevin, that's what a lie sounds like. If you had stopped at the first sentence and not said all those things after the comma, we would have believed you. That, yes, those two are close. But you don't feel good about either one of them.
Yeah.
I do love that I love listening to beat writers try to spin things. Well, Kyler Murray looks a lot more aggressive in Minnesota. I don't think aggressive was really what I was worried about out of Kyler Murray. I was more worried that he needed a booster seat to see over the offensive line, and this is an offense that's predicated on throwing over the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really more my concern with Kyler Murray, not that a guy who's got a career 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio wasn't aggressive enough.
See, I don't believe any of that statement. I think J.J. McCarthy is so bad, it would almost be impossible for him to be close to Kyler Murray. And the fact that you said you feel good. Well, if you felt good about J.J. McCarthy, then why did you have Kyler Murray?
I fully believe that if you could give truth serum to Kevin O'Connell, he feels every bit as good about J.J. McCarthy as he feels about Kylie Jenner, it being his starting quarterback. Kyler Murray? No. I don't believe in Kyler Murray in Minnesota in the least. Mm-hmm. I think there is a better chance of me trusting the federal government. There is a better chance of never mind, no good can come from what I was getting ready to say right there. I may not be in the state, but I'm not really trying to piss off everybody in the state. Just because I'm only swinging through for 10 minutes. Just, hey, maybe you should vote better. That's all I'm going to say.
Trying to figure out what state you're talking about.
The state you're sitting in right now.
Oh, it's this one. Gotcha.
Yes, the pelt of your finest beaver.
That's sweet.
Now he knows what
I figured it would be me that would make the reference first, but
if you don't know, just Google Congress, North Carolina. You'll figure it out pretty quick.
Ethics Committee. It's a helpful hint.
I bought you 30 pints of ice cream. That's a weird thing you did.
Can I skip floor votes to come and decorate your Christmas tree?
Oh, no, sorry.
I think we could reschedule for another time. It's
those that know me know why I had to say that. And if you don't know, ask me. I'll tell you.
Just not on the air.
Just not on the air.
All right. Shall we get started into our 10 members of the top 100 for today?
Yes.
All right. Starting off today with number 60. Working our way to the halfway point of the league, and at number 60, it's
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
I know somebody's going to say this is low, and I'm quickly going to say, have you watched CeeDee Lamb recently? He's really good at doing just amazing things. Mm-hmm. He is also really good at making the mundane look literally impossible. CeeDee Lamb is just one of those. He looks like a receiver that's 3 years into the road to glory, and you just left out his hands. Like, if he catches it, he's dynamic, but he's got a 57 catch rating. And the crazy thing with CeeDee Lamb is that it seems to happen in the same games. He'll go 4 weeks without a drop, and then he'll have 5 in one game. Mm-hmm. And CeeDee Lamb was one of the hardest players for me to rank because I know how good you can be. I also know that you aren't that guy 100% of the time, and that means I can't really have you any higher than this.
Yeah. And it does feel a little low to me just because I think the same thing that you said. I know how good you can be.
With the ball in his hand, he's one of the best players in the NFL.
Oh, I've been in love with the guy for 5 years, 6 years. How long has it been since he came out from Oklahoma? He was one of my favorite players in that class. And he's been good. He's paid to be better than good. And that is my biggest qualm with CeeDee Lamb. And it is quite interesting to try to predict how this season's going to pan out. Will George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb be neck and neck again this year? Will one fall by the wayside? Or will Dak Prescott really throw for 6,000 yards?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Dak Prescott could throw for 3,000 yards to George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and I'm still looking at the rest of the receivers going, where exactly do you think the other 2,000 are coming from? I like Ryan Flanoy just as much as the rest of you. The problem is if anybody gets hurt, whoa, that gets ugly in a hurry. Mm-hmm. You start counting on Jonathan Mingo, which I, as one of his loudest draft proponents, gave up on that myth about 2 years ago.
But I mean, how much can you really critique the room as a whole? I mean, if you added CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens to the wide receiver room in Miami, right, we wouldn't have near the questions.
Well, I mean,
about the wide receiver room there.
That might be the least out on a limb thing you've ever said in the history of the show. My criticism of the room is not that it's not a good receiver room. My criticism of the room was if either one of those guys gets hurt, you are LMNO screwed. Because if Flanoy becomes the 2, which he's not, and then it's a bunch of dudes that should be selling Geico car insurance behind them. No, look, there's a huge difference between Miami and Dallas. Huge. Miami's room is terrible, period. You're just really thin. You're super top-heavy. Dallas Cowboy fans didn't really seem to understand what I was saying when I said that a couple weeks ago. No, you're fine with those two. I really hope you're super comfortable playing in 12 because you're going to play in way more of it than you think you are.
Well, between Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonemaker, they should be fine.
Sure.
Sure.
I love Turd Ferguson, but Luke Schoonemaker doesn't do much for me.
Think about this, though. I mean, where would Ryan Flournoy rank in that Miami room?
1 with a bullet.
Right. So, I mean, the fact that he's...
Ryan Flanoy might be the single greatest receiver in Miami Dolphins history since Mark Clayton and Mark Duper.
Right. Cavante Turpin would be your 2 in that room right behind Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah. I will say some of the things I heard about Cavante Turpin made me realize that a lot of fans play way too much Madden. Oh, he's an electric player. Okay. You're right. He is a very electric player. So my question would be is if he's as good as you say, and he's this dynamic weapon, why, pray tell, in 4 seasons does he have 70 career catches? You know what? Are they just holding on to him? We're going to have that one day. Or, and hear me out, is it that he's 5'7" in a pair of high heels? Because that's what it actually is.
And super fast.
He is insanely fast.
He's Ryan Switzer.
No, he's way better than Ryan Switzer.
But I'm saying
but that's not a high bar.
That's the same things that they said about Ryan Switzer when he had a couple of returns early in his career. He could be the guy. He could be our secret weapon.
Look, you could make a very compelling argument that CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens is the best combo of receivers in the NFL. I personally would take Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, not necessarily because I don't think CD and George aren't ahead of T, but because I think they're less ahead of T than they are behind Jamar Chase. Now, Cincinnati has the same problem. We don't ever really talk about that, but Cincinnati gets pretty thin back behind those two as well. The difference is I've seen those guys get hurt. I've also seen that quarterback get hurt, and I've seen how bad that offense can be. By the way, I did watch a little of QB last night with Joe Flacco. And I know y'all thought that, he'll see the human side of Baker Mayfield. I have never hated Baker Mayfield more than I do right now.
Really?
Today. I hate him more today than I did 2 days ago. He's just annoying. Just hearing his stupid voice, getting in C.J. Gardner-Johnson's face. C.J. Gardner-Johnson would kill you without breaking a sweat. There would not be one single bead of sweat on his forehead, and you would be in 46 pieces. Yeah. As evidenced by that one time you ran from the cops and they bounced your head off the sidewalk like a basketball.
Well, not a whole lot of people win that battle.
Less.
No people win that battle.
No people win that battle, but it usually happens with you in handcuffs. Baker was too stupid to even put his hands up. He's just running away like, sidewalk, boy. Hey.
We've got breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
And unfortunately, for the Atlanta Falcons, it's not good news. Atlanta Falcons linebacker Jalen Walker carted off the practice field on Tuesday after injuring his left leg.
Feared to have torn his ACL.
That is not good. Was not able to place any weight on the left leg as he was helped to the cart. He was taken into the locker room. Players huddled as Walker received attention from trainers following his injury on a pass rush play. That's typically one of the signs. Because they don't normally do that if it's just like, I pulled something. Right? I don't think they normally gather around dudes and start, handing out hugs and stuff.
Well, the way that usually works is, they don't necessarily throw up the X like they do in WWE, but it's not hard to figure out when they do the preliminary test and everybody starts dropping their head.
Yeah.
Because the test for an ACL is you feel the back of the leg because you can actually feel 3 of the 4 tendons in your knee. So if you feel it and it's mushy instead of stringy, that's a really bad sign.
Yep.
It's not flawless because I have seen them do and it's just strained. But it's not super likely.
Kevin Stefanski cutting practice short by 45 minutes after that.
Is anybody going to be left in the NFC South by the time we actually start playing games? Because between the Bucs, the Falcons, and the Panthers, that is just an outrageous number of players that you have. Tampa hasn't lost guys for the year. They just seem like everybody in that camp is banged up. Carolina's the one that's been killed by injuries, but now I could make the argument there was no player in that locker room they could afford to lose less. Maybe Bijan Robinson. Because Jalen Walker is literally the only pass rusher on the team. until we find out what the punishment for James Pierce is going to be.
Right. They're still waiting to find out. They're waiting to find out what that suspension is going to be from the league, fully expecting one from the league. And now Jalen Walker down, and they are fearing the worst. We'll take the break here on ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, continuing with the countdown of the top 100 players for 2026 after this.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
The weather pattern is typical for this time of year. High pressure, Bermuda high off to the east of us, and the return flow around it, bringing in the humidity and the moisture, and you got it. Scattered storms. You may not get it every day, but you could. Downpour is probably the biggest threat, maybe some gusty winds. There'll be days you don't get rain, and that's going to be today through at least tomorrow and Thursday, probably even Friday with highs in the low to mid-80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stager.
This report is sponsored by Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's bow time. A Bojangles classic just got remixed.
Cajun filet biscuit with the bacon ranch and cheese. Cajun filet biscuit with the bacon.
Get a Cajun bacon ranch only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
If you run a business, you know how hard it is to get your customers' attention. Yet 85% of consumers say radio is the last thing they hear before shopping. Let iHeartRadio help you reach your next customer today at 844-844-iHeart.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of urgency, timely, responsive, focused, prioritizing you as our customer and the community that we serve to do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Ever since they started clearing yards after Helene, the Chainsaw Brothers stay committed to helping rebuild Western North Carolina.
Whether you have a dead tree dangling somewhere dangerous, or you need to clear years of overgrowth, tree trimming, or tree removal, we can get the job done.
It's fully insured and licensed work from local professionals you can trust.
Residential or commercial jobs, we got the tools and the crew.
Call the Chainsaw Brothers today at 316-1013. That's 316-1013.
Follow us on Facebook to see how we treat our family. And check us out at chainsawbrother.com.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have: Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
Sure, you know Appalachian Motor Coach is the official shuttle sponsor of the Living the Dream Tailgate Tour. But did you know that they can get you anywhere in style? Weddings, bachelor or bachelorette parties, corporate gatherings, family reunions. Appalachian Motor Coach makes the ride part of the fun. Luxury seating, climate control, and none of the stress of parking or driving. Appalachian Motor Coach gets you there relaxed, on time, and ready for the party. For more information, visit them at AppalachianMotorCoach.com. Appalachian Motor Coach, the best memories start on the ride.
The American Experiment. 250 years. One dream, one opportunity to soar at a time. 1776 was a long time ago. America and the world. It's a very different place. But the things we cherish, family, friendship, remain the same. Happy birthday, USA. Ingalls, American owned since 1963.
This is ESPN Asheville, home of the Sportsocracy. Weekday afternoons, 3 to 5.
I would not hold a special draft for a kid who gambled on his own team. I'm going to suspend you for a year just out of basic principle anyway.
Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville.
I'm Amy Grant. No one was more surprised than I was to learn I was living with a rare heart condition. So listen to your heart. I'm here today because I did. Learn more at helpheart.org.
Hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
He opened up his time with, "Who the F do you think you are?" Whoa. And I was like, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
This is First Views on 570 with Mark Starling and Tank Spencer.
When the president quoted yesterday, we are going to bomb the effing S out of them.
Weekday mornings at 6.
Philosophers of our time used to paint pictures with their words.
Right. Now they just kind of graffiti with them.
On News Radio 570 WWNC and on 92.9 FM.
Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here for you to tell you how to keep safe.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
To provide the music, talk, and sports you love. And to deliver the news that matters to you. We are the voices you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
ESPN Asheville. WPEK Fairview. WMXF Waynesville. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. In the heart of Beer City, USA. 2 men, 1 journey. To create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. And we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. That's your way to get in touch with the program immediately. You can subscribe to the channel, join the House of Reprehensibles, and you can throw out some super chats, which I think we got one to get to here before we get back into the list of the next group on the top 100 players for the NFL for 2026.
It's from our buddy Colin.
Got a couple.
Oh, we have several?
I think there's... no, never mind. That was Great Norse from earlier, sorry.
We got one from Colin who said, Jeremy, what are you hearing out of Chiefs camp about rookies and veterans? Anything that makes you like, oh, God, that the NFL is going to regret letting the Chiefs have them? Khalil Benson is the one I've heard a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That he has just solidified that he's the best right tackle on this team. And Jalen Moore is going to end up being the swing tackle. The other one is Cyrus Allen. And this would be a really good time as somebody that loves telling people I told you so to say, I told you so. As soon as Kansas City drafted him, I went, you're going to regret letting them do that. Because that kid moves so effortlessly, and I fell in love with him at the Senior Bowl. Those are the two I've heard the most. I mean, I've heard some good about Peter Woods. I've heard some good about Josh Simmons. But the two that look like the camp standouts from Kansas City are Cyrus Allen and Khalil Benson.
Okay. I mean, I feel like we do this every year with them, don't we?
Oh, you do this with every team every year. The question is, do I believe you? Is this going to be the Jets all over again who have told me about a standout receiver? Yes, A.D. Mitchell, I am looking directly at you because I have fallen for this more than once. And I hate to say that you have burned me so many times that I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And so the fact he's been so great in camp, oh, awesome. So was Jason Brownlee, who now plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
But, I mean, A.D. Mitchell, I mean, at least you've seen him be decent before.
A.D. Mitchell has the same problem that C.D. Lamb does. Yes, when we can get the ball in your hands, you can do some special things. The problem is you have a bit of a dropsies issue.
He does have that. He does have that. But still an improvement for your New York Jets. Back into the 10 players for today on the NFL or the Sportsocracy NFL Top 100. For 2026, 60 was CeeDee Lamb. Number 59.
Jonathan Taylor. He's your guy, so I'm going to let you wax poetic about Jonathan Taylor.
Well, I mean, I just have to ask the question. I mean, is there anything Jonathan Taylor can't do?
He doesn't catch very much.
Because carrying the Indianapolis Colts seems to be the best thing that he does.
Jonathan Taylor.
Continue. I mean, I don't see that ending.
Jonathan Taylor, between the tackles, is about as good of a running back as we have in the NFL. Mm-hmm. If there wasn't anything else to playing running back, he would be higher on this list. Problem is he's never really been that high-end asset in the passing game. I mean, look, I'm picking nits because we're almost to the top 50 players in the league. But that's why I have a handful of running backs ahead of him. But, I mean, I'll give you massive props on Jonathan Taylor. You said this was coming when we covered that draft.
Oh, man, I mean, I just felt like he was so electric in college that he had the moves to be a star in this league, and it didn't take long for him to prove it. I mean, he had a hell of a rookie season. Then he had the 1,800-yard, 18-touchdown season, and then things got rough from there. Right? There were injuries. There was time missed. He came back and played a full season last year, and you saw that guy again. 18 touchdowns, almost 1,600 rushing yards. I mean, he did have 46 catches last year. So, I mean, that's a high mark.
That's less than 3 a game.
It's not among the greatest receiving backs in the league, but
it has gotten better.
When you have,
it was much worse than that early in his career.
Right? How many more touches can you expect him to have?
By the way,
323 carries last year.
Tank, we have breaking news.
Okay.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Darnell Wright got a bag.
Oh.
4 years. How many monies?
122.
You're just a little high. 116. Just remember he is a right tackle.
Right.
How much guaranteed?
Did he make it to 100?
93.
93.
Most guaranteed money for an offensive lineman in NFL history.
If you'd answered no, my guess was going to be 98. So, I mean, I'd figured it'd be there somewhere in that area.
That's a significant payday for a big part of the Chicago Bears.
I mean, he's a huge piece of the Chicago Bears.
He almost made the top 100. I mean, look, if he didn't play right tackle, and I hadn't been so neurotic about how I was letting in offensive tackles, because I just feel like there's a jump. You know, those top 5 guys to me are stalwart left tackles. I did not put a predominantly right tackle on the list unless you consider Penei Sewell, who hasn't played on the left, but that's where he's headed.
Mm-hmm.
Right tackle is an important position, don't get me wrong, but I did devalue them in this list. Darnell Wright is, if he's not the best right tackle in the league, he's not making it to 3.
Holy cow. His pass block win rate last year was 95.2%.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Also does a lot for that running game in Chicago. It's very, I mean, it's a very key part of their philosophy. I was reading camp notes today that was talking about the fact that Ben Johnson runs the run game install himself, which is really strange for a head coach to do.
It's very important to him. He also doesn't want to commit big dollars to running backs.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't really have to.
I mean, if Kyle Monagai works, then it does save you a lot against the cap ledger.
Well, between him and DeAndre Swift, they ran the ball just fine last year. I think combined they had a Jonathan Taylor season.
Which is shocking.
They had a little over 1,800 yards, I think, and like 19 touchdowns between the two of them. It's a hell of a running game. And Darnell Wright's a big piece of that. So he gets 4 years, you said?
Yes. $29 million a year.
$29 million a year. Well, good for him. Good for him. Did you have him on the list of next to get paid?
Yes.
Okay.
He was. I'm actually kind of surprised it took this long, but this is a pretty popular time to get deals done. When guys get back in the facility, and you see them that one last time, and then they call the agent and go, "Okay, we're good."
Mm-hmm. All right, good deal. At number 58 on the top 100,
Kalen Bullock, safety, Houston Texans. This is a name that I'm going to go ahead and say the average fan is going to be very surprised that he's this high. Mm-hmm. He is. You want to know what really changed with that defense? Because, look, Will Anderson's been a dude for a minute. Daniil Hunter's been a dude for an even longer minute. Mm-hmm. Kalen Bullock might be the best young ball hawk in the NFL. If he's not, I would love to hear the argument of who he is. He doesn't get the notoriety because he's probably the fourth best player on his own defense. But that doesn't change how good he is. He would be the best player on about 23 defenses in this league.
Mm-hmm. He was quoted the other day as saying he is becoming the best safety in the NFL. Crazy talk, or is he accurate?
I think he's got a little bit to go there, but he's younger than pretty much anybody that I would put him behind. Mm-hmm. I had him at 5. I could easily see how you could get him all the way to 2. I don't have him there, but I'll go ahead and tell you the next 3 are not that far in front of him.
All right, at number 57.
Now, 1, on the other hand, you're going to have to wait many more days. 57 on the list is Joe Thuney, guard, Chicago Bears. At some point, you just have to look at a guy that's been this consistent and go, this is just where you live now. Mm-hmm. I mean, do I think he's the best guard in the league? No, I don't. He's not getting out of the top 5. And you mix him with Darnell Wright. Look, I've said for 2 years now, I think the misgivings of the Chicago Bears offensive line have been greatly over-exaggerated. And then you see Ben Johnson come in here and, it's weird how that worked. Mm-hmm. Kept a lot of the same pieces or threw in new young guys, a guy like Ozzie Trapillo. I mean, it's not like that changes a ton. You still had the brass tacks of this. Thuney was the piece to me that tied it all together. You know, he's the rug that ties the room together. And if you watched him for any significant period of time last year, that became really, really clear.
Yeah. Joe Thuney, who is, man, how old is he now? 33.
I was about to say, he's got to be 32 or 33.
Yeah, 33 years old. Been doing it for a while and still considered one of the best in the game. Despite the fact that his quarterback was on the cover of Madden, he was the highest-ranked Madden player for the Chicago Bears.
As well he should be.
At number 56.
This one's a little strange, and it does tie into something. On the Greenville show today, we're going to talk about the craziest things that we've heard out of camp. And I don't think this one's crazy. I just think you're leaving out a big piece, is that Sauce Gardner and Charvarius Ward have been terrorizing Indianapolis Colt receivers. Mm-hmm. I don't doubt that in any discernible way. But I think you're leaving out a big part of why.
Who are the receivers?
Sauce Gardner is one of those guys that if you can cater the scheme to him, he's never going to be a big interception guy. At least I don't think he will be. He has not been in the NFL up to this point. He's never going to be a great tackler. But in terms of just locking on a big premier receiver, there are not many in the league that are better than him. That is a skill. Now, I don't know that there's a player on this list that has a possibility to fall further next year than Sauce Gardner. I don't know that he has much room to go up because it's been 2 very clunky years in a row. Now, you got traded midseason last year, so I'm not holding a ton of that against you. Also, good time to point out, would you like to hear the list of wins that Sauce Gardner was part of last year? Would you like to hear it again? Because it was 0. If Sauce Gardner was a team, he would be the second winless team in NFL history.
Oh. So what? He missed every win that Indianapolis had last year?
Yes.
That's brutal.
He had a rough year. I mean, and look, it was obvious on the field. I said this when the Jets traded him. To me, 2 wins is reserved for top 15 in the NFL, guys. You know, right. Bill Barnwell puts out a list every year, and I disagree with it vehemently of what some of these guys would get. And Sauce Gardner, I still think he's a good player. All of my derision of that deal, it wasn't that he wasn't a good player. It was that he wasn't worth what you gave up. And the problem is that I think that's going to be held against him for a long time. I don't think he's that far behind a lot of other premier corners in this league. He's just not as good of a tackler, and he's pretty scheme dependent.
Yeah, I mean, it surely could be held against him depending on what that draft pick turns into.
The
Indianapolis Colts, if they're as bad as I think they could be this year, then, I mean, that's a top 6 pick.
It could be.
Top 7 at worst. I'm not making the prediction that that's how bad it's going to be, but I think I did have them in like the realm of 5-6 wins maybe when we did our prognostications when the schedule came out.
Look, I've said this repeatedly. I think the New York Jets are one Dakota Prescott abduction by space aliens away from potentially having 3 top 12 picks in the NFL draft. I feel way better about their side of that and Indianapolis' side of that than I do about the Dallas side.
Right.
Because if Dak is upright and alive, then that's not going to be the case.
Right.
But Indianapolis, yeah, I don't. Hey, our corners really good. Are your corners really good or are your receivers really bad? Because I saw some of that camp, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not sure that there's not a guy on that roster that would struggle to outrun me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Sauce is a guy that, I mean, he can hang with pretty much anybody in the league.
In the right scheme.
Right.
In the right scheme. Now, is that scheme what Lou Anarumo is going to deploy him in? I'm not confident of that yet. But I think in terms of just talent, he belongs right here. A year from now, I may disagree with that vehemently. Because I think Aaron Glenn broke him. They will do documentaries about how badly Aaron Glenn mangled the 2025 New York Jets. And they may do it in 2026.
How about we not? How about we just forget this part of history and move on? For your sake, Jeremy.
Look, nobody wants to forget it more than I do. I'm living it right now and trying to take it out of my memory 1 tequila shot at a time.
It's been a bad 60 years. We'll take a break here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN. Asheville continue with the Sportsocracy Top 100 for 2026. Sauce Gardner at 56. We'll see who's at 55 after this.
ESPN Asheville. Your mountain weather forecast.
Pop-up thunderstorms into tonight, and tonight they're drifting to the north. Our temperatures at 67 degrees, slow-moving downpours and thunderstorms. Some could pack a punch with cloudy ground lightning, brief high wind, and brief heavy rainfall. Thunderstorms again tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Upper-level low pressure keeping us kind of gray this week, and temperatures near 80 degrees. Nighttime lows in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Laurier-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. With the Discover Cash Back Card, it's payback time when you earn cash back on everyday purchases. Activate and earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter on up to $1,500 in purchases. It pays to Discover. See discover.com/5 for details.
Hey, it's drive time.
Ooh, the hole closes up on him.
Your time saver traffic on ESPN Asheville.
Traffic very busy. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Owen Bridge. Future 26 eastbound. Stop and go between Broadway Street and 240. 26 eastbound. Slowing between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. East Flat Rock 26 eastbound. Busy between the US 25 connector and Ozone Drive. 26 westbound. Slow between Brevard Road and I-40. Arden area. Hendersonville Road southbound is slow approaching Airport Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Skin is deeply personal, which is a strange thing to say about something that everyone can see. It can affect how we move through the world and how much of ourselves we feel ready to show. I'm Dylan Marin, and I'm hosting Skin Queries, a podcast from iHeartRuby Studio where we talk to people about what it's really like to live with a skin condition. Listen to Skin Queries on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Skin Queries and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, we're all in for summer. We have everything you need for the perfect picnic, the greatest grill out, and the best beach vacation. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
It is ESPN Asheville. We are the Sportsocracy. You can follow us everywhere on the socials at the Sportsocracy. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link and watch us on YouTube. Of course, we're heard on 880, 1400, and everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. The Ingles Living the Dream Tour kicks off tomorrow. Just one more sleep until Cleveland. Well, maybe 2 more sleeps. I might be able to catch a nap at some point during the drive. Chances are I'm not going to.
I was about to say you're going to be driving more of it than you want to be.
Don't I usually, though? Don't we usually start out with unless it was like the trip, the 5 for 5 that we did last year, where you did drive home from Chapel Hill so I could sleep because, I was having to, go to work in 2 hours when we got back. But other than that, I typically do just. I'm kind of that way on a road trip anyway. You get me behind the wheel, just let me go. Just let's get there. We don't need to change drivers. We don't need to do anything. Just pit stop, pee. Hopefully not more than twice on the way up there.
Well, look, unless you want to watch me dodge invisible critters that aren't actually there, because I have a funny feeling we're going to be on night 4 of No Sleep-a-Palooza since I'm laying on a goat bed.
And you're going to be rocking out hard tonight with the wallflowers.
I'm going to meet Jacob Dillon. I'm going to meet Jacob Dillon with one bloodshot eye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You mean one bloodshot headlight?
No, the headlight's not bloodshot. It's hidden by this. It's hidden by this nice shirt. Stephen Tao asked if it was a denim shirt earlier. It's not a denim shirt. It's just a polo.
Just a shirt. Just a shirt.
We have
Is it blue?
No, I think partially in green.
Blue. Yeah, something like that. Okay.
No. We also have a super chat.
All right. Hang on a second. The other music's still playing. Here we go.
Make it easy money with the wink and a smile, like it ain't no thing.
It's from Sir Jimothy, who asked, "Has anyone been to New Orleans training camp? And if so, did Gail ask about me?"
I still feel like that's a little unhealthy, but you do you. You do you, Jimothy.
Hey, you know what they say. Older the berry, sweeter the juice.
By the way, have you filed the lawsuit yet against the raccoon stealing your name? Because I feel like you need a piece of this action. He's the only Jimothy I ever heard of.
He's the only Jimothy I had ever heard of until just a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Until that little football-looking raccoon. Back into the top 100 for 2026. Best players in the NFL. At number 55, player I'm very fond of.
Tucker Kraft.
I thought that guy was a machine until the injury last year. Injuries happen to everybody I know, but he's probably one of the guys that I'm looking forward to most making the bounce back year.
I think Tucker Kraft is, if we did a most underrated list with the average fan, I would say Tucker Kraft is probably going to finish in the top handful.
Probably so.
Because if you look at that guy and don't go, that's a top 5 tight end. The funny thing is that they drafted 2 that same year, and we were fond of both. I loved both picks. And I thought Luke Musgrave was going to be the garbage pail guy, and Tucker Kraft would be a nice secondary tight end that kind of played like Hunter Henry. And come to find out, Tucker Kraft is an absolute dog, and Luke Musgrave actually could end up being the trash guy when Green Bay figures out he can't play dead in a cowboy movie and he needs a new place of employment.
Oh, Tucker Kraft is back, though. He was activated from the PUP list on Friday, took part in individual drills at the first practice of Packers training camp. So hopefully this year is going to be much better. I don't see how it could be any worse than it was last year.
Oh, I mean, I think Tucker Kraft could end up. I mean, for me, he's a cheat code in fantasy football leagues because he's the high-end tight end one that you do not have to draft like a high-end tight end one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brock Bowers is going in the second round. I'll go ahead and tell you, without even looking, I know for a fact Tucker Kraft is not. And their stat lines may be shockingly similar.
Mm-hmm. Who did you just say?
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. I was trying to see what.
I've seen a lot of analysts saying that
was.
I've seen a lot of draft analysts say that their theory is they're going to go the best running back available in round 1, Brock Bowers in round 2. After watching Kirk Cousins run, I'm not so sure that's going to go the way you want it to. But did you see him doing wind sprints at Raiders camp?
I did not.
I am 1,000% convinced in a straight-up 50-yard dash right now, you would beat Kirk Cousins.
That's bad. That's very bad.
Oh, he looked terrible. And, I mean, I've tried to tell Raiders fans this, and they just want to argue with me. Okay. Oh, we don't want to get Fernando Mendoza killed behind this offensive line. Okay. I understand that. You may actually watch Kirk Cousins get killed. Like, I know you're using that in a facetious way. I'm telling you he may actually die behind that line. That is how poorly he moves at this point. I saw it at Falcons camp last year.
Mm-hmm.
That dude looks 1,000 years old.
There's not a lot of sleeping on Tucker Kraft this year. He is the 5th tight end coming off the board in fantasy drafts. According to Fantasy Pros ADP tracker, 606 is his average pick.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, 6th round seems to be the honey hole there for tight ends. Tucker Kraft at 606, Laporta at 609, Fannin at 10, and Pitts at 12.
And I want to touch on something that was said in our YouTube chat. Austin Groves said Kraft isn't better than Laporta. Clearly, blocking for tight ends doesn't matter. So if Tucker Kraft played for the Lions and Sam Laporta played for the Green Bay Packers, I'd probably flip them. Because I don't disagree with you. I love Sam Laporta. The problem is that Sam Laporta has to contend with way more than Tucker Kraft does. And this is best players for 2026. This is not necessarily how I would rate them for the next 10 years. I like Laporta a lot. I also could make the argument he's the 4th target in his own offense. Tucker Kraft may be 1, 2, and 4. Especially when Christian Watson mysteriously pulls his eyebrow or stretches a fingernail.
He is one of the few tight ends that is target number 1.
Tight end's a really funny position to me because there are a couple guys that I know are going to get absolutely inundated with targets. That's Bowers and McBride. Really not another one on that list. Then we get into opportunity cost, which, I mean, Tucker Kraft should be the 3rd highest targeted tight end in the league. It would stun me if he wasn't.
Yeah. 15 yards a catch. That's pretty good, right?
That's especially for a tight end, that's pretty solid.
That's what he had last year before going down with the injury. And he is back off the PUP list, participating in training camp, getting ready for a fantastic 2026. We will take the break here in the Sportsocracy, continue with the countdown of the top 100 players in the NFL for the 2026 season, picking back up at number 54 right after this.
Purple Wave Auction presents one of the largest fleets of Volvo articulated haul trucks you'll find anywhere. Selling August 27th from Landmark Construction in Piedmont, South Carolina. 23 late model Volvo A45Gs, all low hour and ready to move dirt on day 1. Buy 1, 2, even 10. With 23 matching trucks available, it's the perfect opportunity to grow your operation. Bid with confidence, always online, always no reserve. Register for free today at purplewave.com. Purple Wave, where equipment finds its next owner.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of back pain relief with just 1 dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sun up to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
When you're planning your next job, options matter. Now in stock at Lowe's. Get the roofing brands you trust, including GAF, Owens Corning, and CertainTeed, with more colors to choose from. Shingles and accessories are in stock and ready to go. And when you're on the clock, we help keep you on schedule. Order by 4 p.m. and get next day job site delivery on select items as early as 6:30 a.m. At Lowe's, we have your back on the job. Delivery Monday through Saturday in select zip codes, subject to availability.
Some apps say they're free, then come the fees. Not the iHeart app. It's 100% free. No required subscriptions to access the best live radio stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today.
For more information about contests on this station, go to espnavl.com/rules.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of urgency, timely, responsive, focused, prioritizing you as our customer and the community that we serve to do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Ever since they started clearing yards after Helene, the Chainsaw Brothers stay committed to helping rebuild Western North Carolina.
Whether you have a dead tree dangling somewhere dangerous or you need to clear years of overgrowth, tree trimming, or tree removal, we can get the job done.
It's fully insured and licensed work from local professionals you can trust.
Residential or commercial jobs, we got the tools and the crew.
Call the Chainsaw Brothers today at 316-1013. That's 316-1013.
Follow us on Facebook to see how we treat our family. And check us out at chainsawbrother.com.
I'm David.
And I'm Christina.
And this is our Ingalls story.
Ginger's Revenge is a brewery located in Asheville, North Carolina that specializes in the production of hard ginger beer.
So we use all natural, whole ingredients, and I think that really sets us apart.
Ingalls is an amazing partner for us to work with. A lot of our fans know that they can go to Ingalls and find a lot of the flavors that we have available, and they just make it really easy for folks to purchase local products.
The Sportsocracy.
It is ESPN Asheville. Welcome back in to the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer, coming to you from the Clarissa Sells WBNC.com home studio. He is Jeremy Greene. Down in the Ingalls studio, the auxiliary Ingalls studio.
In the middle of an absolute typhoon that just hit outside.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's hitting the window right now. I don't know if that's hail or birds just trying to get out of the water. I don't know, but it sounds like my window's going to implode.
That's no good. No good. We got bad weather all over the region right now. Apparently, it's a little calmer than it was a little while ago over here in Arden, North Carolina. But, yeah, thunderstorms all over the place. Guess what? This will continue throughout the summer, as is the norm. Back into the top 100 for 2026. Who's going to have the best years this year? Number 54.
You know where it's not going to continue? Cleveland. I never thought I'd be excited to be going to Cleveland, but here we are. Derrick Henry, running back, Baltimore Ravens.
I feel like people just forgot how good Derrick Henry is, at least fantasy football player.
I can't figure it out either. Like, how many years in a row do you have to say, oh, this guy's going to implode before you go, he's not going to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just built different. I get it. He's checked off every box for me. This is where running backs implode. But he keeps not doing it. Mm-hmm. And eventually you just have to go, you know what? Until I see him do it, I'm just going to assume he's going to keep being that guy.
I mean, is it that big of a risk? If you're playing fantasy football, is it that big of a risk that you pick him up at the wrong time? You spend a draft pick on him, and it happens to be the year. I mean, the guy's 32 years old. So you keep thinking at some point, the wheels have to fall off. He has 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns last year.
That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Where is he going right now? You're asking that like he's fallen to some stupid place that's just going to drive me crazy.
Well, the fact that I was able to get him in the third round of a draft that I did the other day, I went, well, y'all are dumb.
I was about to say, but was that just you or are other people doing this?
He is currently RB11.
That's kind of dumb.
Going in fantasy drafts.
That's kind of dumb.
206 is the average pick for him. He is being taken ahead of, or behind, excuse me, Devin Achane, Marion Hampton, Chase Brown. Those are the three directly in front of him. And ADP.
Two of those three are really stupid. I'll let you figure out which two.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just ask you a theoretical question. I'm curious how close you can get to this. Since 2019, Derrick Henry finished 22nd in running back scoring in 2021.
Okay.
What's the lowest he's finished other than that?
7.
You're close. Is 8 twice.
So close.
He's been 8 twice. Other than that, he was 3. Let's see. He was 3, 4 twice, and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you want? He just keeps doing this year over year over year, and now he's in an offense for now his third year in Baltimore where he's finished 4th and 8th. He's had over 300 carries 2 years in a row. Do you really think that's going to change right now?
No.
And if you do, the question that I'm very quickly going to ask you is, who exactly do you think is taking those carries from him? I mean, they're telling you every bit of this. Because the only running backs on that roster are Justice Hill, which I've read that book, and I didn't forget anything that I really need to remember.
I've been told 17 times, it feels like, in his career that he is, just wait, he's the breakout candidate.
Justice Hill is the ham sandwich of the NFL. You will not die, but it is not going to please you nearly as much as you want to think it will. Rasheen Ali and Adam Randall. Adam Randall, who, by the way, was a receiver a handful of years ago. It ain't coming. Derrick Henry will be a dude again, and if you don't take him and somebody in your league gets him in the 3rd or 4th round, you will regret it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I did have the first pick in the 3rd round, so it wasn't like he was deep in the 3rd round in that mock draft I was in the other day, but I that's one of those I don't see. We talked about Alvin Kamara earlier.
Did somebody take Ashton Genty in front of him?
Absolutely. He's going steadily.
Then somebody in your league is absolutely and unequivocally out of their damn mind.
Ashton Genty's ADP right now is RB6.
Oh, you know what that tells
in the first round.
You know what that tells Jeremy about himself? I will own Ashton Genty in the same number of leagues that I will own Tank Spencer.
Yes,
which will be
he's
0.
He's going ahead of Saquon routinely in almost every draft that I have seen. Ashton Genty is a first-round pick. Saquon Barkley is a second-round pick. I don't think I've seen Saquon Barkley taken in the first round of a draft yet.
So I found a list. I'm actively trying to figure out how far would Ashton Genty have to fall before I would take him. I'm into round 4, and I haven't found it yet.
Really? Okay.
Did the Raiders line get way better and I missed it? Because I didn't say, but Tyler Linderbaum, that's one. They have 4 more. And their quarterback, and I don't know how this is possible, but it's going to be, since they're so insistent that it's going to be Kirk Cousins. Somehow, the quarterback actually got worse. I'll pass. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll happily admit I was wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be. Because there is nothing in Las Vegas that scares me, not named Brock Bowers, if Fernando Mendoza is not playing quarterback.
Mm-hmm. At number 53.
If you're waiting for me to say Ashton Genty's name on this list, I would not hold my breath because you will suffocate and die before it happens.
He ain't on it.
Denzel Ward, cornerback, Cleveland Browns. He's another one that maybe it's because he plays in Cleveland. I don't know what it is, but I never feel like he gets the credit that he deserves. Even when he took a little bit of a step back because there was a bit of a change in the defensive philosophy, he's still a dude. I'm also 100% convinced that there are fans out there that have confused Denzel Ward and Marshawn Lattimore for the last 4 years. And I'm afraid some of them were Washington Commanders fans because there were people telling me how Marshawn Lattimore was going to be a dude. And I'm like, nope, you got the wrong corner from Ohio State. Because there is one that's really good. It's just not that one.
he has steadily been one of the best corners in the league, hell, since he got into the league. And I think it's a lot of, I don't know. I think it's a lot of just, we know he's been good, but is he great? And can his greatness be seen in Cleveland?
Well, there's also the problem of it was too easy to throw away from him because they had issues on the other side for several years. Now with Tyson Campbell, it's a little harder to get away from him. The question is there going to be a drop-off with no Myles Garrett? And I'm not going to lie, with him, I don't think so. I think Denzel Ward's still going to see your number one guy predominantly, and it's going to be the 2 and the 3 that's what can hurt Cleveland.
Well, with very little pass rush there. It's way less pass rush than you
There
had.
we go.
Sorry,
I did not like how that was said the first time.
I did not mean to slander Jared Verse in a roundabout way.
I felt like that was some Jared Verse slander, and we are not here for that.
You're taking a big step back, in my opinion, and that could put a lot more work on Denzel. And I don't know. I feel like maybe he hasn't had as many splashy plays in the last few years that people just kind of forget that he's there.
Well, I mean, also you got to look at the fact that the offense has been so unbelievably god-awful that, I mean, it puts the defense in bad positions. So there have been times that the stats weren't even as good as his have been. You know, his advanced metrics are not as good as they actually should be because Cleveland was so unbelievably bad offensively.
Yep. And congratulations to Denzel. He, once again, is the highest paid corner in the league for the second time in his career. That should tell you a lot about how good he is.
He's a dude.
Number 52.
This was a hard guy for me to place because I was trying to take my own emotional bias out of it. It's Derek Brown, defensive tackle, Carolina Panthers.
Okay. And your bias is what?
Well, because he's a Panther. I've seen him up close and personal for several years now. I just keep coming back to with Derek Brown and Quinnen Williams are awkwardly similar to me in that I don't know that you're playing, and I'm talking about Quinnen Williams when he was with the Jets. I don't know that you're playing the position that best suits you in terms of being a stat monster, but watching you do it, play in, play out, you may never get the credit you deserve, but my God, are you good at this. There are times you watch Derek Brown in a play that has absolutely nothing to do with him and just go, nobody else will notice that. I noticed it watching Panther tape over the offseason. I would watch Derek Brown on plays that had absolutely nothing to do with him. They ran it to the opposite. They ran it the opposite direction. He wasn't involved in the stop, and it was shocking how many times on the backside he's just throwing dudes around like rag dolls.
Mm-hmm. Still working. Works to the whistle every time.
He's just one of those players. It's not splashy, but man, does it make a defense better. One of the only things that's keeping me from really panicking about Carolina is Derek Brown. Because having that in front of Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd, okay, I still see a path where you're going to be able to get into the backfield.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that he is holding down that outside tackle position, I mean, that's where he belongs, right?
In this defense?
Right.
Yes. But that's what I said about Quinnen Williams forever in reverse. Is I felt like Quinnen Williams could do that better than being a rotational piece for Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Derek Brown would be – I think Derek Brown could be Jeffrey Simmons if he played for Robert Saleh. Because you keep him fresh, then you can see a little bit more of the pass rush, and you really see what this kid can do.
Yeah.
Stats won't be as flashy because you're not playing as high of a snap count, but the good will be better. There are not many guys that can play that position and do it to a point where they are statistical anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those guys are garbage guys. And somebody else is racking up the sacks. Somebody else is racking up the TFLs. And that's just the guy that the nerds like me are going, yeah, but do you understand how good he is?
Well, when he set the record a couple of years ago for the most tackles by a defensive tackle in the league, I think that kind of gave everybody the hint.
That was
how good Derek Brown could be.
That was also a really good indicator of how bad the defense was.
Yeah. Just want to, since we're talking about Derek Brown, I'll point this out. Anytime over the next 2 weeks on a weekday, if you want to pop it over to News Radio 570 WWNC, every hour we're playing Panthers keywords, and all you got to do is use the talkback button to respond. Give us the keyword when you hear it. Give me your name and your phone number and contact information and all that as well. But next Friday, we will be drawing for a Derek Brown signed football. So 570 WWNC on the iHeartRadio.
It's a good thing to have.
It is. It is.
You should be really glad I didn't know you had that, because you probably wouldn't have that anymore.
Let's see here. We have, and by the way, mention this, 570 WWNC, still your Asheville station for Carolina Panthers football, and we will have the game on Thursday night for the Hall of Fame game when we are there on the Eagles Living the Dream Tour.
You may be able to hear Tank sheepishly scream like a girl when it starts raining and he gets a little moist.
Number 51.
Got a little damp the last time we did this.
And we did.
By the way, that's another reason that I'll hold down the fort on the radio shows, because I got soaked to my underoos and then had to ride home for an hour and went, no, I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to. I don't remember that being super fun. I'll see you fellers on Saturday for the induction. 51 is Tyler Linderbaum, center for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mr. Moneybags.
Look, there's a reason that so many teams were gearing up to make a run at him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason that the Raiders paid him as much as they did. Because they knew that's the only way we're getting him. Because, it is so funny, in the first week and a half to 2 weeks of camp, how many teams I have heard say, yeah, we were planning on making a run at him. And then we got spent out. It's because he's that good. I get it. He's got short arms.
One that I was reading today.
The Chargers were one of them. I've seen several of them that were. They said we were planning on making a run at him, and then we saw the number and went, "Nope, that's more than we thought."
Right.
It's because he's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Center is not a well appreciated position, but it is insanely important, and it should tell you everything you need to know that the team that was willing to. We'll call it what it is. They overspent. The team that was willing to do that was the team that had the number one pick in the draft and knew they were going to have a rookie quarterback at some point in 2026.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Yep.
Everybody says a young quarterback's best friend is a tight end or a slot receiver. Their real best friend is a center. Because that's the guy that can keep everything together, make the line calls, and having one as good as Tyler Linderbaum. There's just not many dudes like that in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a great start for a new quarterback. Whenever Fernando gets the chance, whenever they finally decide the Kirko chains moves like a rusty bicycle chain, we should throw Fernando out there. He's going to help the progression of that young quarterback. I have no doubt about it in my mind.
No doubt.
There it is. Your next 10, 51 to 60 on the NFL Top 100, of course, coming up on Thursday. We will give you 10 more. No program tomorrow because we'll be on the road on the Eagles Living the Dream Tour, heading to Cleveland, Ohio for the Hall of Fame game and the Hall of Fame ceremony this weekend. Luke Kuechly getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I'll go ahead and tell you. If you want to know what the program would sound like at this time tomorrow, let me give it to you. Because it's just going to be me snoring.
It'll be him snoring and everybody else just making fun of the snoring.
That's fine. Y'all can make fun of it all you want to. You know who's not going to hear it? Me.
Yeah, that is very true. Everybody have a safe day and a half until we see you again. We will be safe on the road with our beautiful friends from Parks Ford of Hendersonville. The mobile studio always gets us from A to B and beyond in swimming fashion. Pop it over on the iHeartRadio app to our sister station down in Greenville, Fox Sports Upstate 104.9, and stick with us on the YouTube. We will continue. More news from training camp right after this.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
Pop-up thunderstorms into tonight, and tonight they're drifting to the north. Our temperatures at 67 degrees, slow-moving downpours and thunderstorms. Some could pack a punch with cloudy ground lightning, brief high wind, and brief heavy rainfall. Thunderstorms again tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Upper-level low pressure keeping us kind of gray this week, and temperatures near 80 degrees. Nighttime lows in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
Let's not have any lane violations. Your time-saver traffic on ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is very busy. Future 26 eastbound between Broadway Street and 240. 26 eastbound slow. 26 westbound busy between Upward Road and Ozone Drive. 40 westbound slow between Bavard Road and the 26.
That they've already chosen to opt into and listen
to. As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audience's live conversation.
How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right.
I heard that.
Right. He's making his way down the hallway.
I was wondering if he was here today because I thought he said he was, but I haven't seen him all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's been sitting back stewing in his office.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, we've all been there. I get it.
Of course. Let's see here. Okay, that's going to go into the thing, and there. I need to pull up the live studio.
There he is.
There he is. It was a much less revealing trip today. So I appreciate that.
It's because he's got the undershirt on. Around looking like Jeremy Shore.
Like Jeremy Botafuco. Hey!
You got 3.5 minutes to make it happen.
Your best accessory for a night out? A glowing smile. Bring on whiter teeth that last 12 months.
With the type of account that will add enough to cover the tax of converting your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, simply give us a call at 1-800-297-5755 or go to our website at mymoneyissaved.com.
We all try to live an active lifestyle, but sometimes our bodies take a hit. Injuries and pain shouldn't keep.
EducationLottery.com/educationwins for more information.
Joe Fallon.
Associates called Kona offer orthopedic surgery, neurosurgery, and pain management all under one roof. Dr. Tyler Luthinger tells us more about his approach to treating patients.
Hi, I'm Tyler Luthinger. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here at Kona, specializing in shoulder and elbow surgery as well as hand and upper extremity. I would say my approach to shoulder arthritis is very patient-specific. I always like to say that I treat patients and their symptoms and not their x-rays. Most of these symptoms can be tolerated or adjusted to with some basic lifestyle modifications or oral anti-inflammatory medications, sometimes topical agents, corticosteroid injections, and a home-based therapy program.
Never let chronic pain get in the way of your active lifestyle. Learn more at CarolinaONA.com. Carolina Orthopedic Neurological Associates, Kona. Total quality care under one roof.
Did you know that since 2002, more than 2.8 million lottery-funded scholarships such as the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow scholarships have been awarded to South Carolina students? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit SCEducationLottery.com/educationwins for more information.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. I've been scouting these big carriers for a minute now, and I've seen them pull the same play 1,000 times. They promise you the world, then hit you with a price hike right when the game gets tight. But Boost Mobile, their $25 a month unlimited wireless plan is the most consistent player on the floor. No contracts, no price hikes. Unlock the savings today at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months of the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
Skin is deeply personal, which is a strange thing to say about something that everyone can see. It can affect how we move through the world and how much of ourselves we feel ready to show. I'm Dylan Marin, and I'm hosting Skin Queries, a podcast from iHeartRuby's studio where we talk to people about what it's really like to live with a skin condition. Listen to Skin Queries on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Skin Queries and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. From the Ingalls studio, this is WROO FM Malden, 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. #1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. From the Ingalls studio, this is WROO FM Malden, 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. From the Fox Sports studios in Los Angeles. Here's Dan Byer.
Bijan Robinson is now the highest paid running back in NFL history as the Falcons gave Robinson a 3-year extension that could be worth up to $75 million. Reports say he gets $51 million guaranteed. The $25 million average annual salary for Robinson, more than any other running back has ever made in the game. The Bears and tackle Darnell Wright agreed to terms on a 4-year, $116 million extension. Wright's $29 million a year is the second most in the NFL for an offensive lineman, behind Laramie Tunsil of the Commanders. The Ravens and wide receiver Zay Flowers agreed to terms on a 4-year extension worth $140 million. His average annual salary of $35 million is tied for 4th best in the NFL. Some bad news out of Atlanta as Falcons edge rusher Jalen Walker could miss the season after suffering an apparent ACL injury in practice. Ohio State, the preseason #1 in the top 25 college football coaches poll. Oregon 2nd and Georgia 3rd.
Great day to be live indeed. It is 104.9 FM. Welcome into the Sportsocracy.
Brought to you live by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
Wait, you don't like peanut butter and jelly?
It's the year of the quarterback.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be hitting the road
And we have
tomorrow.
Super Chat.
So
And then
we
set the freaking house on fire.
You make my brain hurt sometimes. Now you know you can't say the wordy dirts on the radio.
We're all the way down the rabbit hole now.
Going to Canton for the Hall of Fame game Thursday night. Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals, and the induction. And for the 2027 mock draft, the Panthers take
happening. Tank needed our help to download Instagram. First reel he ever posted. 19 million views.
You're in the Sportsocracy. We'll be back in the hallway.
My penance in hell is going to be following Tank Spencer around with a camera.
You can find us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Catch us on YouTube.
We have breaking news. Tank hit
We'll let him sleep all the way to Cleveland.
Alive, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. I lived in Greenville for
for a couple years. Absolutely loved it.
A little sleep deprived.
You've been great day to be live, indeed. It is
where's your camera?
104.9 FM Fox.
Why is your camera sitting in the hallway?
It is
because I can't figure out how to get the stupid audio to stop playing.
The Dream Tour. We are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. We will be hitting the road tomorrow. So programming note: no Sportsocracy program tomorrow. We will be on the road to Cleveland, Ohio. We'll be staying in Cleveland, going to Canton for the Hall of Fame game Thursday night. Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals, and the induction.
Right.
100% sure I'm staying in a converted barn.
Happening.
Maybe where Jesus was born.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I just lost my train of thought because I just saw Jeremy walk by in the camera shot. Like he's lost in the hallway.
And it's about the size of a
He's just running back and forth. He doesn't really know where he is right now. It's okay. It's okay. The delirium is setting in.
I don't like
He'll be fine.
I took a shower this morning.
We'll let him sleep all the way to Cleveland tomorrow.
Wasn't good.
I don't know what you said.
I don't know.
I have absolutely no idea what you said. I came in on the backside.
I don't know.
A little sleep deprived.
But here's what I know.
You've been sleep deprived since I've met you.
Shampoo in my hair all day.
Where's your camera?
This may be a
Why is your camera sitting in the hallway?
Because I can't figure out how to get the stupid audio to stop playing.
I'm living my best life.
It is
I'm
yelling.
not clicking on all cylinders, but we're going to try.
Right.
I slept in a goat bed last night. I'm 100% convinced. Because I ain't got much left in Airbnb.
Just another example, Upstate.
Okay, I'm going to be smart.
This is what we live with.
I'm going to stay close to the foundry tonight.
We love bringing the chaos to you. Here on 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate. We will get into all of the latest from NFL training camps. Plus, Jeremy has compiled his dossier here of the craziest things that he has heard from teams throughout the early stages of training camp. Give us a call at the call-in line, 864-240-5480. 864-240-5480. You can text the program at 864-777-95.
I don't know if this is Peter Dinklage's vacation
watch us on the
house.
YouTube. I'm pretty sure. I think maybe.
I had shampoo in my hair all day.
Okay.
We found a little bit. Well, I had the little bathroom break in between the
If you
shows.
see us, then you're going to hear
I
us
am not
twice.
living my best
At
life.
this
Stick it up here
point,
for
there's
later.
Not asleep.
I'm not clicking on all cylinders, but we're good
so
to
those
try.
of you-
All the buttons I know to
All
hit.
right.
And I
Fair
can still
enough.
hear it.
I'm here
For
those
a
of you who
good
want to
time,
get in
not a long
on
time,
the
'cause I
YouTube
ain't got
stream.
much left
You
in
can
me.
still chat with us that
Just
way.
another
I'll
example,
try to keep
Upstate.
track.
This is what we live with every single
I can see
day.
the chat.
And we
We're
love
good.
bringing
All
the
right.
chaos to you.
Good.
Here on
That's
104.9 FM, Fox
Until we
Sports
fully
Upstate.
mount
We will get
cameras in
into
here,
all of the
I can
latest
see
from
the
NFL
chat.
training camps.
And we're
Plus,
good
Jeremy
there.
has
Chat just can't see
compiled
you.
his
Chat just can't see us.
dossier here
Fair enough.
of the
That was,
craziest things that he has heard from
Again,
teams
odd
throughout
way to start
the
the
early
program,
stages of training
with,
camp.
with Jeremy just wandering
Give
the
us a
hallways
call at the
aimlessly.
call-in line,
See, I don't go to the I don't go to the Greenville studios much. I think I've actually been in that building twice. And so I don't really know what the hallways look like. So I thought he just had the camera pointed to a weird part of the studio.
I think
it wasn't until he ran back and forth like chicken with his head cut off that I went, what is happening right now?
You can hear us. If you see us, then you're going to hear us twice.
It's all fine.
And
You know why?
At this point, there's
Because
not
the Eagles will live in
enough
the Dream
sleep
Tour
in me to
starts
figure
tomorrow.
out why. I hit all the buttons I know to hit, and I could still hear it twice. And so I went,
Those
you
of
know
you who want to get in on the YouTube stream, you can still chat with us that way. I'll try to keep track going on.
I can see the chat. We're good there.
Well, you can. Okay. All right.
See, that's the beauty. Until we fully mount cameras in here, I can see the chat. And we're good there.
Chad just can't see you.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm talking now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It usually would require some form of anesthesia.
Yeah.
Again, odd way to start the program with Jeremy just wandering the hallways aimlessly.
I've got my headphones.
That's right.
I don't go to the I don't go to the Greenville studios much. I think I've actually been in that building twice. And so I don't really know what the hallways look like. So I thought he just had the camera pointed to a weird part of the studio.
We love
it wasn't until he ran back and forth like chicken with his head cut off that I went, what is happening right now?
Sleeping at your feet like a cat. I will be in the passenger seat.
It's all fine. You know why?
We'll go passenger
because the Eagles live in the Dream Tour
all
starts
the way to
tomorrow.
100% he will.
And the only thing I will say
this time tomorrow.
I've looked at the clock. I've done the math. So long as Tank's
back to sleep.
Itty bitty, teeny tiny bladder.
We took an entire trip one time to Indianapolis. I woke up
we will
three
either
times
already be
car
there,
horns all
or
three
we will
times.
be
Because Tank, at one point, he almost sideswiped the truck.
I will have gotten.
At another point, he cut
just
somebody
a
off
fever dream of a
using
night.
some of the worst logic.
I mean, I'm
traffic
talking
laws I've
that-
ever heard in my
that
life.
it usually
was-
would require
in my
some sort of
defense,
anesthesia.
in my defense, that was completely my fault.
Talking smack to me in a bar. Like, that's the only ways you're getting
His
that this
explanation,
good.
and I don't know if he was just
And I-
trying to
That's right, 'cause
say
the,
so
the-
to just go back to
The
sleep.
Parks
shut
Ford of
up.
Hendersonville
He
Mobile
said, "It was
Studio
my turn
is
to go," and I
super
said,
comfortable,
but it
especially when
wasn't,
you're in the front seat.
which is why that light was
we are the
red.
captains,
Yes, that's
so
actually
we ride in the
telling
front
you
seat.
it's not your
100%.
time to go.
I mean,
And I
we
didn't
love the
witness
girls
any of
dearly.
it. Yeah. The only
But
thing I
neither
saw
one of
was
us
that, and
fits
that
in
was
the
enough
back
for me to
seat.
go.
And
You did that
unless
wrong.
you want me sleeping at your
Didn't need
feet
to
like
see
a
the
cat,
entire interaction.
I will be in the passenger.
You did that wrong.
I will go past
Sometimes
the
you
princess.
err, okay?
All
He
the
will.
way to
And
Cleveland.
I did
And all
the
I
nice
will- the
black
only
guy
thing
wave
I will
as I
say
went
the
by.
entire
I was
trip,
like,
I will
that's
wake
my
up
bad,
long
but I'm
enough to
not
complain
stopping.
about Tank's
I'll-
driving.
I'll see you down
Go back to
the
sleep.
road. You realize how much pressure it's going to take for me to
We took an
dump on
entire
tons
trip
of fun
one time
over
to
here in the
Indianapolis. I woke up
floorboard,
3
slamming on the
times and
brakes.
it was the car horns all 3 times. Because Tank, at one point, he almost sideswiped the truck.
He was just
At another point, he cut somebody off using some of the worst logic
Sometimes
traffic
you
laws
mess up.
I've ever heard in my
That's
life.
fine.
But
We're all
it was
safe.
my
We're all
turn to
safe.
go.
The car was not damaged.
In my
That's all that
defense,
matters.
that was completely my fault.
100% that's all that matters. I need you to remember that.
His
tomorrow.
explanation, and I don't know if he was just trying to satiate me
Get
because
there
he thought I'd just
and
go
get
back
it
to
done.
sleep, shut
Get
up.
the Ingles
He
Living the
said
Dream
it was
Tour
my turn to go.
underway.
And I said,
Hall of
but it
Fame game
wasn't,
on Thursday.
which is why that
the
light
induction
was red.
of Luke Kuechly
That's actually
and the rest of
telling
the
you
Jokers
it's not your time
of
to
the
go.
Hall of Fame class.
And I didn't
Yeah. I mean,
witness
he's the
any
only
of
one that
this.
really matters.
The only thing I saw was that, and that was enough
not
for
to
me
the
to
history
go.
of
You
the
did
game,
that wrong.
obviously,
I didn't need to see
come
the
on.
entire interaction.
There's only
You did
one
that
guy on there that is not like
Sometimes
polarizing
you
in
err,
some way,
okay?
and it's
And,
Luke
Roger
and
Kuechly.
I did the nice black guy wave as I went by.
No, because you're mad that he's even on the list.
but
You're
I'm
like,
not
why are we
stopping.
doing
Mad
that?
that you thought he was Ronnie
I'll
Lott.
see you down
I
the road.
screwed
You
that up
realize
for
how
a
much
second.
pressure it's going to take for me to
Come on.
dump
They
on
both
tons
played
of fun
football,
over
and
here
their
in the
names start with
floorboard,
RO.
slamming on the
Yeah, but
brakes.
one of
I'm
them's
not
one of
doing
the
that.
greatest
I'm not
safeties of all
doing it
time.
because
One
he's
of
going to
them was
wake up.
the
I'm going to get to have one of those
49er
naps he
in
was just talking about
1986.
because he's going to hit me in the
Okay,
head
Pete
with a
Rose.
Coors Light bottle.
Hey, look,
Sometimes you mess up.
you sleep on a
That's
bed
fine.
make for a
We're all
goat.
safe.
I'll
We're
give
all
you
safe.
some
The
leeway
car was
there.
not damaged.
There it is.
That's all that matters.
Training camp
100%.
news
That is all that
today.
matters. I need you to
The
remember that
biggest
tomorrow.
news,
That is the objective.
I think, has to be contract wise.
Get there
the
and get her done.
$75
Get
million
the Eagles
contract
Living the Dream Tour
given to
underway.
Bijan Robinson.
Hall of Fame
Well
game on
deserved.
Thursday.
No
The
complaints.
induction of Luke Kuechly.
$140 million
Jokers
total
of
to
the Hall of
Zay
Fame
Flowers.
class. I mean, he's the only one that
Okay.
really matters.
I need some explaining.
I mean, not to the history of the game, obviously, but
Not saying he's
I
not
mean, come
good.
on. There's
But
only
I don't think he's
one
$35
guy
million
on there
good.
that is not like polarizing in some way.
Oh,
and
Roger
it's
Zay
Craig.
Flowers is a good player.
The one that's not
I've been
polarizing
a card
is
carrying
Roger Craig.
member of the Zay
No,
Flowers
because you're
fan
mad
club
that he's
since
even
back
on the
Boston
list.
College.
No,
You're
I'm
like,
mad
why
that you
would
thought it
And I
was
will
Ronnie
say
Lott.
this. If both of those
okay,
teams
I screwed that
drafted
up for a
receivers,
second.
I would go,
Just-
what are you
Come
doing?
on.
They
The
both
problem
played
is,
football, and their
Rashad
names start
Bateman.
with R.O. Yeah, but one of them's one of the greatest safeties of all time, and one of them was the seventh
gonna say, who else
best
you gonna get that money
49er in
to, I think?
1986.
From a receiver standpoint.
Okay, Pete
From a
Rose.
receiver standpoint,
Hey,
exactly no
look,
one.
Yeah.
You sleep
They
on a
had
bed
50
mate for a
million
goat,
earmarked for receivers,
I'll
and
give
they
you
went,
some leeway
"Skip
too.
35."
There it is. There it is.
Everybody's well. We're not going to
Training
get
camp news
And you know
today.
what? That
The
includes tight ends,
biggest
too, 'cause Mark
news,
Andrews has got
I think,
one
has to
fucking
be
great one for
contract
the banana
wise.
peel.
See, like, I mean, I feel like part of me
$75 million
would be like,
contract
from
given
Zay's
to
point of view,
Bijan
like,
Robinson.
guys,
Well deserved.
maybe
No complaints there.
Hold on.
$140
How
million
about you get me
total to
somebody
to
else
Zay
playing.
Flowers. Okay,
Go get me Stephon Diggs.
I need some explaining.
Maybe you won't have to overpay me.
Not saying he's
if you
not
give
good.
me some help.
But I don't think he's $35 million good.
Well, I'm just.
Well,
Zay Flowers is just trying to think of this logic.
A
Stephon Diggs knows
carrying
what he
member
is.
of
yeah,
the
a
Zay
few weeks
Flowers
ago he said,
fan
"I'm the
club
best
since
second
back to
receiver in
Boston
the NFL."
College.
Damn right.
And I will say this: if Baltimore was any good at drafting receivers, I would go. What are you doing? The problem is Rashad Bateman.
I do not know Stephon Diggs' agent.
Yep.
To my knowledge,
Case in
I
point.
don't know who it is.
I was going to say, who else are you going to give that money to on that team?
Comparing Baltimore.
From a receiver standpoint.
From a receiver standpoint, exactly no one.
Yeah.
To accept an offer that I think
they had
both
$50
made
million
2 months
earmarked for receivers, and they went, just give 35 of Zay.
Just so he doesn't have to go.
And you know what?
Well,
And
we're
that
not going to get him any help.
And you know what? That includes tight ends too, because Mark Andrews has got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel.
And see, like, I feel like part of me would be like, from Zay's point of view, like if he's signing on for multiple years.
maybe. Hold on.
I mean,
How
that's
about
pretty.
you get me somebody
you
else?
think they're equally yoked?
Go get me Stephon
for a Super Bowl
Diggs.
this year.
Maybe you won't have to overpay me if you get me
depends
some
on
help.
if you're asking me which one
You
is
met
more
a wide
likely
receiver?
to get to a Super Bowl.
Stephon Diggs at this point, I
I'm
think
just trying to think of this.
Stephon Diggs knows what he is. I mean, he even came out a few weeks ago and said, I'm the best second receiver.
Well, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Top A Diva.
Nobody
you're
will
Stephon
ever
Diggs.
convince me that I'm wrong.
Do you want to get there or do you want to
I
win
do
it?
not know Stephon Diggs. I do not know Stephon Diggs' agent, to my knowledge.
Is that really a hard decision for you?
I swear to you, I think he is
because I'm
comparing
not sure that it's
Baltimore and
actually-
Washington, and he is waiting as absolutely late as he can
I think this
to
roster's
accept an
really
offer
good.
that I think they
Would I
both
be
made 2 months
surprised
ago.
if they won a Super Bowl in 2026? No.
Could be.
Would I be
Just so he doesn't have
surprised
to
if they
go to
came out of
camp?
the AFC? Oddly enough, yes.
It's not so much
I kinda
going to
would.
camp, it's which
Because
one
in
gives
the
me a better
AFC,
chance
you
to
got to
win
go
a
through a
Super Bowl.
murder truck quarterback.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't
we
think
just
that's
did
as
top
easy
10 quarterbacks in the league. Guess what?
as
7 of them are in the AFC.
people
I don't know
think.
how good you are at math.
If
but
he's
7
signing on
to
for
3.
multiple
Yes.
years. I mean that's pretty.
If I'm Stephon
I mean,
Diggs,
you
I'm
think
looking
they're
at both
equally
of them.
yoked
Do
Baltimore
I
and
make
for a
Washington
Super Bowl this year?
Baltimore and Washington?
Not saying
Yes.
they're going to win one. Just saying.
It depends on if
the
you're
last time I
asking
saw
me which
Jake
one is
Daniels
more
hand-
likely
and
to
healthy,
get to a Super
that
Bowl
team went to an NFC championship.
versus which one is more
Well,
likely
you also
to
look
win
at Baltimore,
a Super
and
Bowl.
I mean, obviously it's a
I would
hardball
say,
thing.
I mean, because Baltimore's got to go
and
through.
he's gone, but this
the
team
AFC is just better than the NFC.
Well, I'm gonna ask you, Mr.
I mean, for the talent that I look at, especially if you
Mr.
got
Top
Lamar
A
Jackson
Diva,
on there, there's a lot
you're
that I look at
Stephon
going,
Diggs.
what do you guys
want to
doing?
get there, or do you want to win
You
it?
got Derrick Henry, and you forget that we can use. Oh wait, this guy runs, by the way. Huh,
Is that
go figure, we
is
could
that
use
really a
him.
hard decision?
And I feel
for
like
you?
they underutilize a lot of their
because
positions.
I'm not sure
and
that it's
again, that's probably a
actually-
Harbaugh thing. So that's
Look,
subject to
I
change
like
this year.
Baltimore.
But if I look
think
at it
this
from that
roster's
perspective,
really good.
Stephon Diggs.
Would I be
I don't know. Do you
surprised
take
if they
that
won
into
a Super Bowl in
account that this team
2026?
kind of underperforms year in, year out?
Would I be surprised if they came out of the
I'm
AFC?
Stephon Diggs, I'm
Oddly
looking at
enough, yes. I
where
kind of
it could
would.
be home.
Because in the AFC, you got to go through a
because he was
murder
in
truck.
Buffalo.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I mean, we just did top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Guess what? 7 of them are in the AFC. I don't know how good you are
I
at
think New
math, but
England made it
7's
kinda
more
clear
than 3.
how they viewed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So which one of you is going to? I mean, and I'll say it from the
If
perspective
I'm
of the way
Stephon
Tank
Diggs
asked
and I'm
it,
looking at
I
both
am
of
the
them,
diva. And
do I make
I am
Washington
the
a
guy
Super Bowl
that would be
contender?
looking at which one of you?
Not saying they can win one.
Yeah.
Just saying
Because Terry
the last time I
McLaurin's
saw
probably the
Jaden
most
Daniels
unselfish
healthy,
receiver
that
I've
team
ever
went to an NFC championship game.
Right. Well, you also look at
don't know
Baltimore,
about
and
Zay
I mean,
Flowers
obviously it's a
because
hardball
what's
thing
been
to an
around him has
extent,
never been
and
enough
he's
to really
gone. But
take-
this
I mean, I've been the
team
only
just
deep threat
kind
on
of
the team.
underachieves.
Des Walker had.
I mean, for the
12
talent that I look at,
12
especially you got
catches?
Lamar
Yes.
Jackson
He
on
had
there. There's a
12
lot that I look at it
and
going,
if he had 6,
what
he
are
had
you
3
guys
touchdowns.
doing?
If he had 12, he had
You got
6
Derrick
touchdowns.
Henry, and you forget that we can
Half
use.
of the
Oh
times
wait,
he
this
touched
guy
the ball
runs,
last
by the
year
way.
in the end
Oh
zone.
yeah, go figure. We could use
I
him.
think it was
And I feel like they
6-3, if I'm not
underutilize a lot of their positions. And again, that's probably a Harbaugh thing.
I
So
could
that's subject
see
to
the
change this year.
advantage to
But
either one.
if I look at it from
I
that
know
perspective,
for a
with Stephon
fact
Diggs,
Washington has
I don't know. Do you take that into account
and
that
it
this
is
team kind of
competitive
underperforms year
financially,
in, year out?
It is competitive targets wise.
Yeah.
It's
If I'm
competitive.
Stephon
everything.
Diggs,
I
I'm
don't
looking
know
at
that Baltimore has. I'm just
where could
assuming
be
they
home.
have. Because I'm
Because he
looking
was
at
in
the rest of the
Buffalo.
receiver
Yeah,
room
yeah.
going, that's not good enough.
Then he has the year in New
You
England.
think that's going to beat Kansas City? I got a bridge.
And New England.
And I can say the same thing
I think
about
New England made it
several
kind
other
of clear
teams in the AFC.
how they viewed it.
Yeah.
So which one of you is going to? I mean, and I'll say it from the perspective of the way Tank asked it.
I would sign with
I
them.
am the
Obviously
diva.
biased to Washington.
And I am the
I
guy
think
that,
Washington
that
is
would
a
be looking at
really
which one
good
of you is going
scenario.
to love me more.
I
Yeah.
think Baltimore's
Because Terry McLaurin's probably the most unselfish
what
receiver
Baltimore
I've
just
ever
did with
seen.
Zay Flowers, it tells you a lot.
I don't know
We
about
have
Zay
not
Flowers
historically
because
done a
of what's
great
been
job
around him has never been enough to really take. He's been the only deep threat on the
when
team.
our guy comes up,
Tess Walker had
the fact
what,
that Zay Flowers
$12
$25 million season,
either had 12 or 6, and if he had 6, he had 3 touchdowns. If he had 12, he had 6 touchdowns. Because half of the times he touched the ball last year,
you take me off this roster for even.
I think it was 6 and 3. If I'm
and
not
you're
mistaken.
nowhere near where you want to be.
Yeah. Again,
I could see the advantage.
I like Zay Flowers.
I know for a fact Washington has made an offer to him.
Do you have to pay? I'm hearing this argument right now with Baker
Targets wise,
and Tampa Bay fans are saying he's the best we've ever had.
I'm just
saying
assuming
Tom Brady because
Because I'm
Tom
looking at the
wanted
rest
to
of the
come here
receiver
for
room
a
going,
couple of
that's
years.
not good enough.
But
You think
outside of
that's gonna
that,
beat Kansas
Baker
City? I
Mayfield's
got
the
a
best
bridge
quarterback
to
we've ever had.
And I can say the
so
same
we
thing
have
about
to overpay
several other
him.
teams in the AFC.
And it's driving my brain insane.
I can't tell you which one I would sign with.
I don't
I'm obviously biased
understand
to Washington.
that logic
I think Washington is
of overpaying a guy just because he's.
I think Baltimore
just because he's the best you've had.
Well,
But
but what Baltimore just did with Zay Flowers, that tells you a lot. Of
I mean,
we
I'm
have
not
not
saying I agree
historically
with
done
it.
a great job
This
of
is the
drafting
logic.
or
Yeah, the logic
developing
is
wide
Vinny
receivers.
Testaverde, Trent
So
Dilfer,
when our
Chris
guy
Sims,
comes
Sean
up,
King, Josh
the fact
Freeman,
that Zay Flowers is a
Mike
$25
Glennon,
million
Jameis
receiver, not a
Winston,
35,
I mean, I
they
keep
really
doing this
had
if you really like me
there was no
Quarterback
argument.
is
I'm
one
the best
position.
receiver on this team. It's not close.
I mean,
you take me
there
off
are-
this
there are
roster
other
for even a
positions
week,
where you will get this with certain
and
fan
you're
bases,
nowhere
and I think
near
receiver
where you
is
want
that
to
for
be.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Again,
There are certain
I
positions.
you know
that
I
look
like
at
Zay
your front office and
Flowers.
go, we don't do this well.
It's
And if
just
we let Zay go,
do you have
what
to
is he
pay?
gonna be
This
on
is
the
I'm
backside?
hearing this argument right now with Baker
always
Mayfield.
understood
And
the
Tampa Bay
panic with
fans
Baker
are saying he's the
By the
best
way,
we've ever had.
started the quarterback
Sans Tom
documentary
Brady
last night.
because
Couldn't sleep.
Tom
Playing
wanted
in
to
the
come
go-go.
here for a
I
couple of
dislike
years.
Baker Mayfield
But
today. more
outside
than
of
I did
that,
24 hours
Baker
ago.
Mayfield's the best quarterback we've ever had. So we have to overpay him. And it's
makes this
driving
noise
my
that
brain
really hurts
insane.
me. I mean, I think they call it.
I don't understand
it
that
kind of makes me want
logic
to put my head in the garbage disposal.
of overpaying
just
a guy
every time
just
you
because
speak,
he's
the words that come
just
out of
because
your
he's the
mouth.
best you've had.
Well, I mean, the logic is. I mean, would you like me to tell you the logic? Because
That's
I
enough
can't.
for me.
I mean, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just telling you this is the logic. The logic is Vinny Testaverde, Trent Dilfer, Chris Sims, Sean King, Josh Freeman,
Not only would he kill
Mike
you,
Glennon,
he would
Jameis
kill you
Winston.
and would never break
I mean, I
his leg.
keep doing
That would be the
like
hardest. That would be the
quarterback
hardest
is
hit
one
Baker Mayfield
position.
has taken since
I
that
mean,
sidewalk. in
there
Norman,
are
Oklahoma.
there are other positions where you will get this with
he
certain
lies
fan
to
bases,
himself
and I
pretty
think
well, though,
receiver
doesn't he?
is
Because
that
I mean, he
for
said it
Baltimore.
like he believed it. Like, you want to go,
There
I'll
are
go.
certain positions that
I'll
you go
go.
to the front office and go, we don't do this
Baker,
well.
do me a favor, take
And
the
if we
helmet off.
let Zay
Let's
go,
do this outside the stadium.
what is it going to be on the
and then you
backside?
talk like that.
I've
'Cause
always
it's gonna
understood
end in a
the
way
panic
that
with Baker
probably
Mayfield. By the
elicits
way,
you winding up in a
started the
hospital.
quarterback documentary last night. Couldn't sleep, laying in a
I'm
go bed.
begging.
I dislike Baker Mayfield.
Go make that happen.
That is the thing that drives me crazy.
His
it is
his
so easy to be a
face
tough guy when you've got a
makes
helmet
this
on,
noise
and if you get
that really
going
irks
in any
me.
direction.
I
He
mean,
loves
I think
it,
they
too,
call
'cause
it
I
his
remember
voice.
last year he went
It
down, he's
really, it kind of makes me want to put my head in the garbage.
and he's like
disposal.
laying there. I was like, oh man, Baker,
Just
he might
every
be.
time
And then
you
somebody
speak,
came over.
the
You could
words
tell
that
they
come
said
out of
something,
your mouth
popped
make
right
me
up,
angry.
right in his face.
Oh
no, you
because
said it to me.
You said them. That's enough for me.
Because I'm a gamer.
I can't, that attitude with him. When he got into C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Another contract being handed out today was the 4-year, $116 million extension the Bears gave to right tackle Darnell Wright,
that sidewalk
one of the
in
best
Norman, Oklahoma.
in the league. We can tell you more about that.
He
coming up
he
after
lies
the
to
break.
himself pretty well,
Also,
though,
if
doesn't
you
he?
want to get
I mean, he
on
said
the
it like he
program,
believed it, like, you
find
go,
out
I'll go. You
what the
won't,
latest
I'll
news
go.
out of Panther
Baker,
camp
do me a
is.
favor,
Maybe
Baker,
give us a
take the
call
helmet off.
at
Let's do this outside the stadium, and then you talk like that.
864-240-5480, the call-in line to the Sportsocracy
in a
here on
hospital.
104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate. We'll be right back.
I'm begging. That is the thing. That is the thing that drives me crazy.
Yeah. Volume is still
It is so easy to be a tough guy when you've got a helmet on, and if you get breathed on in any direction.
He loves it too, because I remember last year he went down. He's
Hi, Jeremy. How
he's
you
like laying there. I was
doing?
like, oh man, Baker, he might be. And then somebody came over, and you could tell they said something. Popped right up, right in his face. Oh no, you don't say that to me.
This report is sponsored by SC
because I'm a
Education.
gamer.
Did you know that since 2002, more than 2.8 million lottery-funded scholarships such as the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow scholarships have been awarded to South Carolina students? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit sceducationlottery.com/educationwins for more information.
Kix Layton here with my good friend Dewey, Dewey's Pawn Shop at 5900 Augusta Road. Dewey, why do so many hunters in the Upstate shop with you at Dewey's?
Because we have one of the largest selections of firearms, especially deer rifles, anywhere around. We've been in business for over 35 years now, and we have a large selection of hunting guns.
Everybody knows that Dewey's buys, sells, and trades guns, gold, and diamonds, but you carry one of the largest selection of guns and ammos in the Upstate. Tell us about your inventory.
We have everything from custom-made Dakota rifles to Benelli, Beretta shotguns, over and under. We even have double rifles. It's hard to find a double rifle for big game hunters anywhere around. We have them in inventory. We carry just about every every brand and multiple calibers. We try to have something for everybody.
Tell us about your staff. If you're a first-time hunter or a gun buyer, they come in, you take care of them.
If it's the first time you've ever bought a gun or if you've bought many, our guys will try their best to help you out and get you exactly what you want.
Remember, Dewey's buys, sells, and trades guns, gold, and diamonds. Located at 5900 Augusta Road, Greenville, or online at deweyspawn.com.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Star, let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Out here, you know the drill. Animals are hungry, dogs are getting muddy, and you just noticed you're low on feed. Stocking up at Tractor Supply is easy on your wallet with our unbeatable prices on select shavings, retriever dog food, and Producer's Pride animal and poultry feed. From backyards to barnyards, we've got everything to keep your pets, animals, and livestock well fed and comfortable with low prices all summer. At Tractor Supply.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Rich. That's Rich. Enter it now.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy, 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate. Still tripping over that. Give us a call at the call-in line, 864-240-5480, 864-240-5480. Training camp news around the NFL. Text line, 864-777-9593. Injuries cropping up once again. Today, it looks like the Falcons' hardest hit. Jalen Walker feared to have torn his ACL, which means there, in my guesstimation, there's going to be at least 4 games, maybe 6, hell, maybe 8.
8's the minimum.
You think so?
I would say, what you're referring to is how many games James Pierce
exactly, yes.
I mean, just knowing the specifics of that, and I don't really care, how the legal process plays out.
Yeah.
It's never mattered to Roger Goodell, and that was such a bad look, especially after so many people tried to say he was a character red flag.
Mm-hmm.
And then you proved him right. I mean, I'm looking at this team going, this could be Samson Abukum and Azeez Ojulari for a shockingly long
time. A long time.
And that really just kind of sways it back to Carolina. I said the other day, I think Carolina may end up being the worst team in this division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't now, because I'm looking at Atlanta going, you have anybody that can rush a passer.
Mm-hmm.
Samson Abukum has been a situational edge rusher his entire career. Azeez Ojulari has never really proven anything. And that's your 1A and your 1B right now. Until you can get James Pierce back. And I'll be honest with you, by the time that's adjudicated itself, I mean, if you look at this Falcons schedule, they play at Pittsburgh, Carolina, at Green Bay, at New Orleans, Baltimore, Chicago, San Francisco, at Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Kansas City. How many wins did you hear in what I just said?
Mm-mm.
Because it was really hard to find them.
especially when you just had to bring in a quarterback just to run a practice.
Right. Oh, but Tua
you
came
have
back
enough.
today, so
Yay.
Tua's been dealing with his back tightness, I think is what they have classified that previously unreported nagging issue was. That his flare-up that he had the other day was apparently back tightness. So he was back at practice today. So at least they do have him.
Yay.
For whatever that is worth.
That's like saying I'm starving.
It's not an endorsement.
Well, I got this. I'm starving. What do we have to eat? Well, I got this cup with dirt in it. I call it cup of dirt. Would you like that? Because you won't die.
It's like telling Jeremy it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Gross. Gross.
He'd rather starve.
You'd eat it for a Super Bowl, though, but wouldn't you?
Not again.
Yeah, one peanut butter and jelly sandwich and the Jets won a Super Bowl. Would you trade that?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
I would ask a lot of questions. How many players, teams, general managers, and coaches had to die for the Jets to win this Super Bowl? Because you didn't elaborate
Put your
on that.
seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride.
And I'm afraid.
Strap in, boys. It's going to be an adventure.
Now you start going down that rabbit hole, and I'm like, is this the only way we're doing this? Is this the only way we reverse the course that Joe Namath put on this thing? I'm trying to figure out if I could take some sage to Canton and sage Joe Namath and see if we could win anything while he's still alive.
Maybe. It might
Have
be
I ever
worth a
told
shot.
you that theory that I 100% believe this? I am convinced that Joe Namath sold his soul to Satan to win Super Bowl III.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I think he had a devil went down to Georgia moment on the streets of Miami, Florida. He sold his soul to the devil, and then he lived way longer than he was
Namath
planning
went down to
on.
Miami, yeah.
Sure.
And so we got that one, but then there's 60 years of getting kicked in the nethers. Just, hey, Joe still here? Thought so. Nope. And that's where we're at. We have our first call of the day on the call-in line. Caller, who is this?
What's up, guys? This is Neil. Hey, Falco. How's it going, bud?
Hey, what's up? Good. How are you?
How are you, man?
Good. I have a question. I may not am supposed to ask this, but where the hell is John Ellis?
He has moved on to other opportunities.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys are on now. I just tuned it in for the first time. I don't know when he quit or when he got fired or when it happened, but okay. So I heard you guys talking, and you guys are talking about Zay Flowers, and you're talking about the Baltimore Ravens, and I don't understand why it matters how much any of their receivers make. Let's go throughout since Lamar took over at quarterback. When did it happen? In 2018.
Correct.
So let's look at their rushing since then. In 2018, they finished second in the NFL in rushing, 2019 first, 2020 first, 2021 third, 2022 second, 2023 first, 2024 first, and last year second. They're not a team that needs receivers, even when they have receivers out there. Lamar, his first reads are tight ends. I mean, they're just not built that way. It's not the kind of team that they're building around him.
That's a very good point. The only thing I would argue is, and it's not really an argument because what you just said is 100% right. So as a guy that played tight end, I will tell you the cleanest box I'm ever going to see is when I got somebody that has 4.34 speed that can take the top off. I would make the argument that they may have overpaid Zay, but they didn't overpay Zay for them, just simply because they missed so many. I mean, even guys that we're friends with. We had, and thank the name's eluding me right now, Mark Clayton. We had him on the show. He's a great guy. He was just never a first-round receiver.
Yeah.
And I would maintain if you watched his tape, you would have seen that. Baltimore just saw it. And Baltimore's also in a weird position of they're so good year in and year out that you don't get a top 15 pick. You don't get a lot of opportunities to take high-end guys, and so they kind of take the best of what's left.
Right, and I agree with every argument you just made or rebuttal, and I do think they overpaid as far as the market value, but I've been saying that about my 49ers for a while now. I mean, you got guys – these teams go out of their way to draft guys what you're talking about, 4.27, 4.28 speed, 4.3 speed, you still have to be able to catch the ball and run routes. That's the most important part of the position. And Jerry Rice proved that over and over again back in his playing day. But these teams go out and they draft these fast receivers, and then they turn out to be nothing. But when you have a guy not only that can run routes, but is also speedy, okay, Tyreek Hill, for example, comes to mind, obviously. You know, it does take the top off the defense, and you have to have somebody shaded to that side every play, which changes everything about a defense. You played, you know that. So I do agree with that. The problem is, even when you put somebody like that back there, I don't know how much they're going to respect that. Maybe I would change once I saw it. I just think because of the way Baltimore's set up that they're not going to ever, or even if they did do that, I don't know how much the other opposing defenses are going to respect it, number one. And number two, I don't know how much they're going to utilize it. Obviously, they haven't, all these years for what is that, 8 years now. So, yeah. And the other comment I wanted to make, I heard you talking about the AFC versus the NFC, and I would have made that argument too probably a couple of years ago. Falco and I have had this discussion before in the past, but I'm going to have to really disagree with you here. The better quarterbacks, yes, I agree, AFC. However, when you start talking about the Rams, the Seahawks, the Niners, Philadelphia, you could even go as far as saying even now the Bears and Detroit, you might be talking about 6 or 7 of the best rosters in all the NFL out of the top 8 or 9. Would you agree to that? Because, I mean, football has changed a lot. Back in the day, you could win with, I mean, look at what Tom Brady did. Obviously, he had Belichick to help on the other side. But it comes down now. If you go back, even Philadelphia a couple of years ago, you can't tell me Jalen Hurts is as good as he looked. He just had a roster built for success. And so now I don't think it's as much as who are the greatest quarterbacks. So my argument would be I think Baltimore has the better chance to get to the Super Bowl over Washington because I don't see Washington being able to compete against any of those rosters that I just mentioned. I'm thinking they're probably 7 or 8 of the top 10 rosters in the NFL. Your take?
So what I would say is, so what you said with the Rams and the Seahawks, the Rams and my Seahawks are that's 1 and 2, and they're in the same division. Now, I will say I am not very high on Philadelphia this year. I think Jalen Hurts fits in this offense really badly. Now, look, what you said of the roster 2 to 53, as long as you got Howie Roseman, you're going to be in that discussion. Because when you have a GM that drafts that way and just finds value, Howie doesn't. And one of the things I've always respected about Howie is that he doesn't overcomplicate the process. When you see a player, do I care what the fit is right now? No. The draft is our ability to bring players into the roster. And so I'm going to add a guy, and then that's going to change my decisions 2 years from now. It's what I've always respected about Philadelphia, even as much I'm not a Sirianni guy and I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. Now, the Bears have a high-end roster. I would say the same thing about the 49ers. It's done for different reasons. The Bears really hit on what they hit on. They paid Darnell Wright today. He's now the most guaranteed money for an offensive lineman ever. And they took him, they traded up with Philadelphia 1 spot to get a right tackle, which a lot of people thought was very strange at the time. Philadelphia got Jalen Carter out of that. Jalen Carter's a really good player. He wasn't necessarily the biggest need of theirs at the time, but he was a great player. Chicago's really good on the high side, but they're thin. My issue with San Francisco is, and we don't have a lot of San Francisco 49ers call us. And so I'm going to ask this to you because I'm curious your opinion. What is your take on John Lynch? Just as your GM, not as a player, not as a person, just as your GM, how do you feel about John Lynch?
That's a great question, and as Falco can tell you, I used to have my own little segment on the show, one of these, the show before, and so, and then I had my own show on Twitter a little bit, so I try to stay away from certain conversations, but this is the one that probably irks me the most because I hear all these people and I hear some of the 49er fans and they're talking about this or that and they're talking about Fred Warner and George Kittle, whom, obviously some of those picks in the rounds that they got those guys in are unbelievable picks. Here's my problem with John Lynch, and it's been this way, and it's not. I'm not one of those guys that come out and say, oh, well, this is the problem. John Lynch has not done well the last couple of years or this and that. John Lynch, if you go back through his history as the GM of the 49ers, he's made some hell of a draft picks late. But his early draft picks have been, to me, and I hate to use any kind of like exaggerated terminology, horrible, terrible, but in this situation, I think it's right. I mean, if you go back, when Solomon Thomas was on the board and they took Solomon Thomas, guess who else was on the board? And I know nobody knew that he was going to turn out to be this great. But Patrick Mahomes was on the board.
He was.
So at the end of the day, my thing is, it's like, wait a minute. If you're going to talk about some of his big hits, how about all of his misses? And I'll tell you the one thing that drives me crazy about John Lynch the most. Number one, he doesn't understand a lot of the, like, as far as the intricacies of offense. I just don't think he gets it when it comes down to drafting guys like that. And the one thing that irks me the most about him, on the defensive side, John Lynch knows winning football consists of one thing. Can you get pressure on the quarterback?
Yes.
If you can, you eliminate so many things that the offense is trying to do. But on the other side, this dude goes out, and he will get guys like Dante Pettis instead of going out and trying to build the offensive line first so that you can't get pressure. Purdy has proven everybody wrong, and that was a great pick late. Obviously, it was luck, let's be honest. A lot of the scrambling that he does, though, is unnecessary. Not necessary to him. It's necessary to him. He's trying to save his life and not get any broken bones. But it would have been unnecessary if John Lynch would have just put together an offensive line. And that's the thing that really gets me about John Lynch is that, dude, you get it. You go out of your way to get these guys to try to rush the quarterback. You pay these guys, but you don't protect them the other way. I just don't understand it. If San Francisco would have had an offensive line over the last 6 or 7 years, when Debo was in his prime, when Ayuk was in his prime, well, he still is, where I don't think he's in his prime now because he hasn't played, but George Kittle was in his prime. Then they had CMC. You can't tell me San Francisco's offense wouldn't have been unstoppable. The problem is, when you're going back to throw the ball, it doesn't matter how many weapons you've got. You know this. You're a tight end. It doesn't matter how many weapons. If you can't get it to them, it don't matter if you've got Jerry Rice and Randy Moss on one side. You've got Terrell Owens on the other side. CMC run. I mean, it doesn't matter who you got if you can't block for the quarterback, and that's the one thing. And I just don't understand that. His early draft picks have been a bust to me, constantly over and over, and it just drives me crazy because he's made some good picks. But look, what's the old saying? A broken clock is right twice a day. He's going to get lucky on some of these. George Kittle is a great pick later when you look down. If you have hindsight, 2020, of course.
Oh, I would argue he's one of the best. I would say George Kittle is, from what he was when I evaluated him coming out of Iowa to what they built him into, taking what he did naturally and then actually teaching him how to do the things he didn't do as naturally, I would argue that George Kittle is one of the 10 best draft picks of the last 10 years.
I've made that argument myself, and I'll leave you guys. I know you guys.
Problem is you have Trey
I'll
Lance.
leave you with this.
Well, I mean,
you know something,
and it's funny.
George Kittle. The one thing I do like about John Lynch, and I'll leave you with this, is that I know one of his biggest processes is what the guy talks like. How does he carry himself? Can he, go in there and not only be respectful, but does he have a love for the game? Does he truly love football? I like that part about him. That's why he got a guy like George Kittle, because George Kittle really, truly loves just getting hit. He likes to hit, all those things. But the thing about John Lynch is it just doesn't make any sense to me why he hasn't built an offensive line. Appreciate it, guys. I'll probably talk to you guys soon.
Great call.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, Neil. It's a fantastic call. I agree. I've said this about John Lynch. I think John Lynch is the Kyle Schwarber of NFL GMs. When he gets a hold of one, it'll go 500 feet. The problem is that sometimes I need you to hit a single. And I love what he said about tackles. As much as I have railed on John Lynch over the last few years as a drafter, I had never actually looked at, and I'm curious if Tank can get either one of these names right. In the last 5 years, can you name the two tackles that John Lynch drafted?
No.
Enrique Cruz, who he drafted this year, which was a kid out of Kansas that I didn't even have as a priority undrafted free agent. And he took Nick Zakelj from Fordham 4 years ago. That's a great call by Neil. He's right. We do have to take a break, but I'll be honest with you, I'd have sat here and done it for 10 more minutes. Anybody that calls with that much fire, we're going to give you airspace. He's Tank Spencer. I'm Jeremy Greene. He's Trey Falco. You're in the Sportsocracy Upstate here on 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate.
been told you need a knee replacement, it can feel like there's only one option. This is where you need to be careful. Yes, you're desperate for relief, but do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Richmond Weaver, and before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone on bone, arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Don't just accept surgery as your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Call today, 864-766-8454, 864-766-8454. That's 864-766-8454.
Free shouldn't come with a catch. With iHeartRadio, it doesn't. No monthly fees, no trial periods. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the free iHeartRadio app now.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
When you're planning your next job, options matter. Now in stock at Lowe's, get the roofing brands you trust, including GAF, Owens Corning, and CertainTeed, with more colors to choose from. Shingles and accessories are in stock and ready to go. And when you're on the clock, we help keep you on schedule.
Hey, when we come back, we'll hit what Neil started right there with the rosters, AFC and FC. I think that's an interesting conversation.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. I looked at the clock and went, oh, God, he's right.
You're all good.
We did that thing.
Slowly clear out. We'll see low temperatures drop down to around 70, back up to 82 on Wednesday with more widespread rain and thunderstorms. It won't be a complete washout, but especially by the afternoon and evening, most of us will encounter some storms at some point.
This report is sponsored by SC Education Lottery. Did you know that since 2002, more than 2.8 million lottery-funded scholarships such as the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow scholarships have been awarded to South Carolina students? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit sceducationlottery.com/educationwins for more information.
Text line 864-777-9593. Back in the Ingalls studio, downtown Greenville, Jeremy Greene, Trey Falco. Neil? That was that guy's name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Neil brought the fire.
Yeah, he did.
First call of the day, Neil brought it. I enjoyed that a lot.
That was a good one. Very good call. Love when we get good, educated, passionate fans.
Oh, well, and passionate was the word that he said right there. You blipped out for a second. The thing for, and I'm going to keep saying this until it gets, comfortable that we're in the spot. Tank and I've never had the ability to take callers.
Yeah.
We've been doing this together for almost a decade. We've never had the ability to take callers. So we're still learning how to do it. So if you hear one of us kind of start piloting the ship, that's why, because we look down and go, oh, Neil, we do need to take a commercial. I'm going to get yelled at. it's so refreshing for us because, and that's kind of where this show has taken a weird turn that I didn't expect, which ironically enough we were talking to Richmond Weaver about earlier today, is we're enjoying that element. Not that the show will always be unscripted chaos, but we're just really enjoying hearing from you.
It's fun.
I mean, Tank and I have been doing this in restaurants and bars and at Ingles and all the places that we go where people would come up and say these things to us, but we wouldn't be together. And we didn't have the opportunity to answer it on air. So
or they
me,
try to come up
really
and say it
refreshing.
while we're on air, and that doesn't work.
That has happened at some remotes, too. Or they come up and try to say it while we're at dinner with our spouses or things like that. And my wife has this look that she can get sportsed out. My wife loves sports. But she, obviously being married to me, gets to hear a lot about sports. So she knows a lot of things that she doesn't really want to know. And she gets this look on her face, and she kind of looks like the Undertaker, where her eyes don't roll in the back of her head, but it's, I am not listening to another word that comes out of this conversation.
What Neil brought up in his call there, the difference between the AFC and the NFC. Which one is harder to come out of? Which one's more competitive?
The way he said that was very interesting, because I would agree with some of what he said, that if we're looking at high-end talent, I mean, look, San Francisco's got a lot of players on the top 100 that we're putting out right now. That's a really high-end roster. The problem is attrition. And as you go through the season, you see some of these rosters that are a little thin in the keister, as we like to say. Over the course of the season, that's going to rear its ugly head. Now, I guess where I would elaborate on what I said about the AFC is when you have 7 of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and these rosters are not bad. I mean, I would say the Chargers have a top 10 roster in the league. I think Baltimore does. I could make the argument on Buffalo. I probably wouldn't. But then at what point does the quarterback leverage that out? And one of the arguments that we have on social media all the time is that quarterbacks play defenses, not each other. Well, and there's a good point to that. They're never on the field at the same time, but you are going head-to-head, mano-a-mano, and whatever you do, I got to match it or beat it. And so that's where I've always said quarterbacks do go head-to-head with each other. And you get into the Jalen Hurts, and I'm not a huge Caleb Williams guy. I think there are a lot like that they could take a turn in 2026. Look, Caleb Williams could be a top 5 quarterback in this league. Do I think he's going to? I don't. I think the top 5 are pretty clearly the top 5 to me. Then when you get into the rosters, there are some good rosters in the NFC. The Bears play a murderer's row. If the Bears make the playoffs, Ben Johnson should be the NFL Coach of the Year. I don't know if you agree with that, Tank. But
I mean, maybe. Sure. Sure. I'm not convinced, but I mean, just making the playoffs gets that?
I don't think the Bears roster is as good as a lot of other people do. Because I'm still looking at a team that has, in terms of pass rushers, you got Montez Sweat, not much else. Corners, I don't love Tyreek Stevenson, never have. I think the best one on your roster is probably your slot guy. Because Jalen Johnson, there's been really good and there's been very average.
Yeah.
I still don't think that defense is going to be special. What I think is special is that you have a really good offensive line, you've got a really good head coach, and you've got a quarterback that doesn't take unnecessary risks. And yes, that was me speaking out of both sides of my mouth, because that's also what I hammer Caleb Williams for, is that he makes the special play because he has to, because he puts himself in these situations where he's behind all the time. I think the Denver Broncos roster is really good.
Yes.
I think the Kansas City Chiefs roster is really good. I think the Chargers roster is really good. Pittsburgh, if you're not looking at quarterback and you're just going 2 to 53, you're not going to find many that are better than that team. Now, I do have...
In name, that defense is... I mean, maybe it'll get better with Patrick Graham. It was a lot of names last year, and
Patrick
third
Graham will
and
be
24 conversions, and I was pulling my hair out over.
Patrick Graham will no doubt be an improvement.
I hope so.
How many teams in the NFL can you say have 3 elite pass rushers? Pittsburgh does.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
And I've made this argument before. I'm not sure T.J. Watt's the best one of them at this point.
He's not.
I think he's the best player.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the best pass rusher.
Again, name.
Patrick Quinn. You get into these situations with Pittsburgh where you just look at the players and you go, when you get to the 30th player on the Pittsburgh Steelers roster, it's better than 25 teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, how much does that matter?
Right.
How much is it stars?
Right.
Because Pittsburgh lacks super high-end stars.
Uh-huh.
They've got a lot of guys that if you're going 1 to 500 in the NFL, they have an insane number from 51 to 250.
Yeah.
The depth in that makes you very safe. I could make the argument that's why they've been 9-8 or 10-7 every year since, I don't know, the Reagan administration. Because you're so deep that no one guy kills you.
Yeah.
But you don't have the star. Because it's really been T.J. Watt and a couple other, well, they're good. Joey Porter.
Right.
I like Joey Porter. Tank loves Joey Porter.
I love Joey
I love Joey Porter. And the fact that Jaquan Brisker is now on this team, forget about it.
Yeah.
I will say, in terms of Tank will mention them at a rate that is disproportionate to their talent.
Jaquan.
You now have the all Tank Spencer secondary because Jaquan Brisker and Joey Porter will get more love on this show than any other show in America.
Hey,
No doubt about it.
I think he's underloved.
He is.
People like to hate on Joey.
He is. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying about Pittsburgh. Problem is they haven't had a quarterback since Ben, and it's hard to win games when you haven't got a quarterback.
Yeah.
And even the last few years of Ben were a little lean.
Oh, sure they were. I mean,
You're in the
that's how
here
Baker.
on 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. He's Tank Spencer. I'm Jeremy Greene. He's Trey Falco. We'll be back right after this commercial break.
Just call Joy, 888-8888.
This is 104.9 Fox Sports.
I'm sorry, I lost
lost
looking at
track.
the clock. I knew you weren't looking at the clock.
I was not.
He ran right
When at 30 seconds he started making another point, I went, he doesn't even have the clock on his computer right now. This is one of those, I'm going to have to cut him off or he'll keep going to the bottom of the hour.
Well, I was hoping I was going to get that cue in my ear. But I didn't.
Oh, that was my fault because I should have just grabbed the old wheel and put her back in the lane because I knew at 30 seconds I was like, he ain't looking.
That was my fault. I'm so used to you. Like I feel like I'm stepping on your toes, giving you the 1 minute.
I know.
Like, Tank always has a clock in front of him. Like Tank's a producer too.
Typically.
It almost feels insulting to be like, hey
Typically.
Tank, you got 1 minute.
Oh man, you shouldn't have. Man, you should have been there on Friday.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hey, remind him that we are on YouTube.
Hey, I'm not going to say.
Hey, we are, yeah.
Well, you can give me a call after the show if you'd like, and
Okay.
I'll fill you in on why you never get another day off.
You know, oddly enough, that's not the first time I've heard that in this business.
That's when you're good at your job, that's going to be said to you a lot.
What's that quote? Oh man, I accidentally became important in my job.
Yeah. I did that about 20 years ago, and they just froze my pay and went, "Screw you, you're showing up." Okay, here I am.
All right,
There I am.
I'll be there. How you feel about working Christmas, sport?
Yeah, I could have strangled somebody Friday.
I panicked a little bit because I was still halfway coherent. Was it Friday or was it Thursday you were out on location? And I looked, and you were like, the generator's dead. And I was like, oh, no.
Or no, yeah, it was Thursday. Yeah,
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, Thursday.
I immediately
I forgot we were
texted
off Friday.
Jeff, and I was like, look, I was like, you can have Rich fill time. I was like, you've got ESPN on the board. I was like, whatever you need to do. Because I was like, oh, it's his first day. I was like, and the generator's dead. I was like, that's a little bit to be thrown into the fire.
Yes. Yeah, there was a lot, to be fair. However,
Yeah, no, I got you.
I could not have made it easier.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
I'm almost glad that the cameras aren't working today, because if I fall out and die in the middle of one of these segments,
You'll be fine. Curl up at my feet like a cat.
Oh, God forbid you do something that goes viral. Jeez.
Oh.
Right. Come on, Jeremy, we need the views.
Wait, what?
What?
Only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
There are two kinds of guys looking for jobs in roofing. Some are looking for a job
Hey,
that
guy.
pays money. Get a job with Chuck in a truck and you'll be up the ladder tomorrow. Driving nails, making money. Go to Guy Roofing and tomorrow will be the first day of your next 4 months in a classroom. What's the difference between those two guys? Well, the classroom guy won't be making roofer money quite yet, but he'll be learning about safety and waterproofing techniques, how to avoid mistakes, and how to fix the mistakes made by guys who never went to class. The other guy will be learning on the job, and that job might be your house. Kind of guy who wants to be in a classroom listening to master roofers for 4 months before he even climbs a ladder is the guy you want on your roof. He isn't planning to be a roofer until he's tired of it. He's a guy who wants to be great at it. Guy Roofing. You got a roof, you got a guy.
Comfort should feel effortless. Save $1,000 on a new home comfort system from Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric. Corley's got you covered. Schedule online at CorleyPro.com.
Corley Plumbing, Air, and Electric.
A lot of apps like to say they're free until they ask for your credit card. iHeartRadio is different. No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges. We make money from our advertisers, not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations, all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. From the Ingalls studio, this is WROO-FM Malden, 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human. Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. From the Ingalls studio, this is WROO-FM Malden, 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, an iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
We need a petition to get that added into the legal ID.
Yes. But John Robinson became the highest paid running back in the NFL as he got a 3-year extension from the Falcons today worth up to $75 million. His average annual salary of $25 million is the most for any running back in NFL history. The Ravens and wide receiver Zay Flowers agreed to terms on a 4-year extension worth $140 million. His average annual salary is $35 million. That's fourth most amongst wide receivers in the NFL, tied with Justin Jefferson of the Vikings. And the Bears gave tackle Darnell Wright a 4-year extension worth $116 million, $93 million of that guaranteed. Back to Atlanta, where Falcons edge rusher Jalen Walker went down with an apparent ACL injury in practice. He could miss the upcoming season, according to the NFL Network. Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater was taken to the medical tent today during 11-on-11 drills. Ohio State's the preseason number 1 in the top 25 college football coaches poll. Oregon is second.
Ooh, Tank, let's play a fun game.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy.
Brought to you live by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
What? Wait, you don't like peanut butter and jelly?
It's the year of the quarterback. Old Trip and May over here. And we have a super chat.
And then he set the freaking house on fire.
You make my brain hurt sometimes.
Now you know you can't say the wordy dirt. The raid you bought.
We're all the way down the rabbit hole now.
Fire them cannons, by golly.
Being a Jets fan, toxic. It's a football Friday.
And for the 2027 mock draft, the Panthers take.
Tank needed our help to download Instagram. First reel he ever posted. 19 million views.
You're in the Sportsocracy. We'll be back right after this.
My penance in hell is going to be following Tank Spencer around with a camera.
You can find us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app or catch us on YouTube.
We have breaking news. Tank, hit the button.
Oh, it's a great day to be alive, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. I lived in Greenville for a couple years. Absolutely loved it.
You boozy! 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate. This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live. I'm coming to you from the Clarissa Sells WBNC.com home studio. Jeremy and Trey in the palatial Ingalls studio in downtown Greenville. Has it stopped?
Far more palatial than Asheville.
Has it stopped storming?
It still looks like
gloomy.
It looks pretty evil, but it's not actively raining right this moment.
Well, that's at least good news for where you're at. Maybe not others in the area. So everybody be careful if you're out and about on the roadways. Call in line to the program, 864-240-5480, 864-240-5480. Hit us up on the text line as well, 864-777-9593. You can also comment on the YouTube stream. It's
we have
still not working.
We have a couple texts on the text line.
Let's go.
From Soaring Eagle, who asked, what have you heard from camps on Matthew Golden, Nicholas Singleton, Denzel Boston? What would you say their early roles from camp have shown us that they would be? Nick Singleton is the one that I've heard out of Tennessee that they are absolutely in love with him. I think Tennessee was the team throughout the process that was floating the information that I was getting, that Singleton's injury was worse than people think it is, and he's not going to be ready for the year because they're way too excited about him. So Singleton, I don't know that he will usurp Tajay Spears off the jump, but I don't think it will take all that long. I think he'll be the two pretty quickly. Matthew Golden, look, do I believe anything that's coming out of Green Bay? No, I don't. They claim that he's going to be the true, honest-to-God one, and he's going to be the deep threat everybody thought he should be in year one. I don't believe it. I watched the tape from last year. I don't see a jump that aggressive coming. I think they're going to try. I just don't think it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then Denzel Boston, look, Cleveland is going with a massive youth movement. So you're going to see a lot of KC Concepcion. You're going to see a lot of Denzel Boston. And if not immediately, I think they're two of the three starters off the jump. I think it's those two and Jerry Jeudy. If it's not, then I would say Boston will be the one that probably doesn't start off the jump.
Have you seen the clip of KC Concepcion picking his brain up off the field today?
I did.
I saw that earlier and went, I feel like somebody warned us of that.
Yes. KC Concepcion, I've never in my life seen somebody so afraid of getting hurt in my life. I mean, he had 70 some odd catches. He ran out of bounds like 68 times.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Nope.
Although
hit me.
Although
I'm a flag football player.
You know how weird I feel that those little mushroom helmets are. That
the Guardian.
He needs to wear one of those, and he is. I'm just saying that's the first time in the history of the game I think I have ever actually lobbied for a player to wear one of those silly looking things.
Did you see Jalen Petrie is going to be the first Guardian cap signature athlete?
How is that not Romeo Doubs?
Oh, it should be
100%.
I mean, Romeo.
He looks like a bobblehead running around on the field.
Dobbs looks like the Great Kazoo from the Flintstones. I mean, it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, and maybe it's just, okay, I get it. You know what? The technology's there. If you want to wear a pillow on your head, more power to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. I know that about me because I know how locker rooms work, and I know if at my size I showed up with one of those on my head, that it may not be said to me, but it's certainly going to be said about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It might be one of those, we're laughing with you.
Yeah.
We're not laughing at you. Look at Paul Bunyan over here with a pillow on his head.
I was going to say, at your size, you'd be better off strapping Romeo Doubs to your head.
No doubt.
They're getting
my size. Look, you know what? I knew this about me throughout my entire athletic endeavors. 70s are looking a little sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm pushing 40, 60s ain't looking so hot either. That's a thing I know about myself.
They're getting more and more.
Good time not logged up.
They're getting more and more popular for the big guys, though. Have you noticed? A lot of linemen are wearing the Guardian helmets, and honestly, I can't really blame them. Repeated head impact over and over.
Blame them out loud. Or at least I know I shouldn't. This is one of those. I know the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like to lie to the audience, and I don't really want to comment any further.
Gotcha.
I just can't imagine if somebody had brought me one of those and go, "Would you like to wear this?" I would go, "No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would, because I feel like this is greatly going to impede the reason that I'm doing this, which is I want girls to like me, and I don't think that's going to help in any discernible.
Jeremy's going to strike out after the game because he was wearing a pillow on his head.
Look, if I'm going to strike out, it's going to be with a normal helmet under my arm. I'm not striking out with my night pillow under my arm. I don't need any extra reason for women to go pass. I'm a walking 7 of those, so I'm good.
Yeah, but I mean, it might help you be able to spell your name when you're 62.
I didn't spell it
to do that. Yeah.
Look, I didn't spell it that easily before I took the first hit. I don't really think that's, when I get to points and I go, don't remember the next word. I would say it was probably the years of fighting Muay Thai, where, I just let people kick me in the face. Or that time I fell off a roof. I also specifically remember a time in my childhood where me and some young friends of mine as I was growing up would just go, "Hey, let's trade licks. What does that constitute?" "Well, I'm going to punch you in the face, and then you punch me in the face. And the first one that taps is a loser."
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that more times than you'd want me to.
I think you're actually making the case for the Guardian cap at this point.
My case really is it wouldn't have mattered if I had it or not. The IQ was never going to be Stephen Hawking. Okay,
True. This is also very true.
I was always going to peek out at either Daryl from the docks, or somebody is going to let me tell jokes and talk about football on the Raging Box. And man, I'm glad it went the second way and not the former.
Yep.
Because I'm not real handy either.
Hey, speaking of being not real handy, did you see who got hurt at Panthers camp today?
I was so interested to see where that was headed. I did see who got hurt.
It was a meaner transition than I needed, but it still served the purpose. Xavier Legette.
South Carolina fans, you get him. I'm your
I forgot we're on the Gamecock station.
Yeah,
Shoot.
Yeah, good job. You get him. You shame him.
Xavier Legette, he landed on his noggin today at practice, and thankfully, they're saying it's just a stinger, no concussion. He will be reevaluated tomorrow, but stinger is good news. Obviously, not great news ever when a guy gets hurt.
Stinger's real good news for the guy that didn't have one. Don't know if you've ever had one of those. That's oof.
Mm-hmm.
They call that for a reason.
Because your whole body stings, right?
Well, because you think you've been stung by the world's largest invisible bee, and just there's about 4 square feet of your body that you can't feel anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's frightening.
Yeah, it's they're not good. I mean, look, that's what ended Sterling Sharp's career.
Sure, I mean they can last forever.
And I'm not trying to be that guy of, well, you're saying it's better. It's better than the alternative,
right?
For sure. There are a lot of things, especially with shoulders. You're talking to somebody that had some pretty significant damage done to mine. It can be worse, but the hope is that it's not a long term.
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like we are now where we used to be with concussions, with stingers. We say that and just go, "Oh, he'll rub some dirt on it, he'll be fine." Concussions, we used to. He has a mild concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, get out there, son.
Yeah, as somebody that lost count of how many of those I had, there's no such thing as a mild one. I feel like I'm going to die. Or my head has lived in this trash can since Friday. Because every time I move, something bad happens.
Mm-hmm. Sure. It's a lesser degree, We're not denigrating stingers. They can be bad. Hopefully this one will not, and hopefully Xavier Legette will not have to miss any real time of football. I believe that was the only other injury that we had today. Was there another one that we missed?
From Soaring Eagle on the text line, he said Broncos might be in trouble. Nick Benito was limping off the practice field today. From what I can see, it doesn't look bad. That looks like a rolled an ankle, maybe twisting a knee. I can't really tell. He's definitely walking gingerly, but it doesn't look as bad. There are certain tenement things, especially with a player like Nick Benito, that you look for. Cart comes out, hold your breath. They let him walk off, so that's usually a pretty good sign. But hopefully Nick Benito's fine as well.
Yes. All right. Well, we can keep the good thoughts going.
We do have breaking news, though. And if you're a fan of college football, this one should give you some great angina.
Uh-oh.
Tank, does the name Stephen Daly mean anything to you?
He's a lawyer, isn't he?
Well, I mean, there probably is a guy named Stephen Daly who is a lawyer. They are pretty common names. Stephen Daly was an edge rusher for Indiana. Do you remember at the Big Ten title game, the player got hurt celebrating after the game and then missed the college football playoff?
I do not recall that.
It definitely happened.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
And you were also with me, but it was after the SEC championship game, and you had just watched Georgia win an SEC title. So I can understand why you wouldn't remember. Stephen Daly was an edge rusher for Indiana. He has played 4 years of college football. He just entered the 2026 NFL draft and was not drafted. He has also just been granted a 5th year of eligibility to come back to and play to Indiana this year. You remember that 5-5 thing we just talked about?
Yeah.
Of some of these players are going to be eligible to come back, and it does not matter what they did on the other side. Stephen Daly is going to be your first example of it.
Yep. At this point, does it matter?
Planning on coming back to Indiana? Does it? Of course it matters, because this is just another one of those death by 1,000 paper cuts. The kid went through the entire process. I had forgotten his name, and I saw it pop up, and I went, wait a minute. He never withdrew from the draft. Oh, that doesn't matter anymore.
No. The only thing...
On-3 story listed every Indiana player that was drafted, except Fernando Mendoza, and said they could all come back if they want to.
Okay. I don't see a problem with that.
Oh, I do. Once you've gone through the draft, you're done.
Why?
We're not doing this NBA thing. We're not doing that. Well, I mean, I only played in the G League, so that doesn't really count. Nope, it counts. I may not be able to enforce the old rules, but this counts.
Before it was an eligibility thing, right? It was an amateur thing. The amateur thing doesn't matter anymore because you got agents now. That was the one thing that disqualified you, was if you had signed an agent, then you couldn't come back to school because that ruined your amateurism. Well, now there is no amateurism. So if a guy goes through the draft process and doesn't get drafted, why can't he come back to school?
Yeah, I don't
try
care.
Again next year.
I don't care. No, as the draft guy, I am not Chad. I am not a vending machine king, but I am an NFL draft authority, and I will rule with an iron fist. Once you have gone through the draft, you are done. We are not doing this. Because this is insane.
Why?
And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if he doesn't, there was an injunction, the NCAA is fighting. I'll save you from reading the article because it's not really going to tell you a whole lot. I don't know that he will be in an Indiana uniform come September. I also don't know that he won't be. And if he is, that's an absolute hammer for Indiana that just showed up out of thin air.
Yep.
And if you think it's not about to happen 100 more times, I got a bridge to sell you. Because there's a lot of dudes in NFL camps right now that are looking around, and they're doing the math. And they're going, best case scenario, I end up as the last dude on the practice squad making $25,000 a week. Actually, I think it's $12,000 a week. And they're going to do the math, and they're going to go, I believe it is time for me to make my great return to my alma mater.
Okay. So you're saying guys that have already signed with teams could come back?
If you weren't drafted, the way the rule is stated, and it never had to be stated another way, because if you went through the process, so you said this was an eligibility thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're right, looking at it from the NCAA standpoint. The NFL never made any rule on this either. If you didn't get drafted, it didn't matter because the college football wasn't taking you back. So there was never a rule made of you can't be undrafted and on a roster and not come back through the draft.
Huh.
First of all, I'm saying this for my own peace of mind. You want to talk about breaking my brain when we go through the draft season? If I have to start putting guys back on a roster after they've been gone for 3 months, I'm going to scream at clouds for the next 10 years because it's hard enough to figure out who stays in, who comes back, who's in the transfer portal, but maybe they come back. Streamline this. Do it now. Just my brain cannot take adding another layer to this.
Well, I think to me it makes a big difference if you've signed a contract with a team and been in a training camp rather than not getting drafted and just coming back to school. Or has this guy was he picked up as an undrafted free agent?
I cannot find where he is signed with anyone, and it's not in my notes that he did. I think this was his play the whole time. Because it was a little strange to me that he didn't get drafted in this class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to say I think I had a 5th-round grade on him. And he didn't get drafted, and then he didn't get signed, and it was a little odd. And I had not – maybe it was my own ignorance that I didn't piece 2 and 2 together of what he was getting ready to do.
Yeah.
Because I go ahead and tell you, that ruling just came down a few days ago. He was awfully prepared to come back to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So – this is another one where I'm drawing a line. It has not mattered because nobody has stopped anybody from doing anything. I think the LSU basketball team next year is older than I am. So at this point, you know what? Who cares? The NCAA doesn't like it.
But that to me that's a different issue because you've been in the pro ranks, right? The G League guys coming back to college, to me, that's a bridge too. That's where I draw the line. I have no problem with a guy who wanted to test out the draft and didn't get drafted, and he can come back to school if he doesn't sign with a team.
I do, and I'll tell you where I have the issue. It's on the NFL side because you go too far down a rabbit hole because there's no there are limits and there are constraints on how much you can spend, and then you put the money in a guy.
It's like you're talking about, I mean, you're joking around with the LSU basketball team, but it does feel like players are in there forever. At a certain point, there's got to be a cutoff, right? Like you got to make room for the other generation to come up and play on these teams.
There's so many iterations of this because if you let this go and the injunction doesn't get lifted and he's allowed to come back to Indiana, what precludes a guy from coming back and going, I'm in the transfer portal? And then we have like a third wave of free agency. I cannot ask judges, attorneys, whatever we need to impede this. I cannot ask you vehemently enough. Please get in the way of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Tank, you can attest to this. How many different things have I said this about, and how many of them have I been right that they wound up leading to a floodgate opening?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think what you're getting ready to say is, well, this is just a minuscule number of guys anyway. It's really not.
Yeah.
And, it's only for 1 year. Yeah, until it's another year. That 5th year of eligibility, I heard that thing was going to get unwound years ago. It hasn't. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't see an end to it in sight. You're counting on the Congress of the United States to intercept this. That's the only thing between you and this becoming the law of the land. I trust gas station sushi and knowing things about the Clintons more than I trust the NCAA, and more than I trust lawyers, and more than I trust any of this. It is a horrid precedent to set.
Okay. If you got a comment on it, give us a call at the call-in line, 864-240-5480, 864-240-5480, or hit us up on the text line at 864-777-9593. We'll take a quick break, return here on the 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
Upstate weather.
This is WYFF News 4 Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice with your forecast. We've got scattered thunderstorms continuing into the evening hours. As we go into the overnight, we'll see things slowly clear out. We'll see low temperatures drop down to around 70, back up to 82 on Wednesday with more widespread rain and thunderstorms. It won't be a complete washout, but especially by the afternoon and evening, most of us will encounter some storms at some point.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oof, it's a shocking time to lose a whole strut.
Ugh. Comedy is not your thing, but I do know that Rock Auto has what I need to fix it.
With parts shipped right to your door. No kidding.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, this is Hayes Davenport.
And Sean Clements.
We host the podcast Hollywood Handbook. Every episode, we're trying to help our guests improve their careers by mainly focusing on how they can help us improve our
Hey, Tank, we're going to stack
the
this.
show's famously super accessible, so you can easily jump into any of our 650 episodes and understand what's going on.
We recommend some of our recent episodes with Ben Stiller, Danny McBride, Riz Ahmed, and Mary Steenburgen.
Listen to Hollywood Handbook on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Hollywood Handbook and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Back to school is almost here. With iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, your business can support local educators, connect with families, and be part of a message your next customers already care about. Get your business into the back-to-school conversation today. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining.